Shalom Israel. Welcome back to class for part 2. And first and foremost, we want to give a shout out to all our brothers and sisters out there that watch online. Shout out, shalom to you and your families. Especially as we watch these last days and wars and rumors of wars and what's going on in the Middle East, and seeing how that plays out. It does have an effect on us here in America. We will see that possibly soon, either by oil, gas, transportation, something. It's going to affect us somehow. Whatever goes on overseas, what we realize is that we're globally connected. We realize that from COVID, which started in China and made its way this way. And next thing you know, it shut everything down. So everything that happens globally has an effect on us here in America. But shout out and shalom to you families out there that watch and stay strong. Shout out to our brothers and sisters that watch online, Kawakab, also our elders in Guatemala, in London. Shout out to our family that watch in California, Albuquerque, Florida, overseas. Shout out to our brothers out there too, also SOW in Houston, Virginia, and New York. No, that's yours. And shout out to everybody that, you can't have a camp without sisters too. So shout out to the sisters and also the brothers. And the kids as well, the future generation. So we want to get right into it. I know sometimes I can be long-winded when it comes to like a recap, and I don't want to do a 1-hour recap, and miss the next part of the class. So I'm just going to cut it short and go straight to part 2. We went over last week about the Beauty and the Beast, and initially we started off about, what virtues are great acquisition to look for in a man or a woman. Does anybody remember what those virtues are for a woman?
Don't say it. I won't say it.
Have you got it?
It was kindness.
Kindness, yeah. Kindness was one of them.
Temperance, meekness.
It was comfort in her tongue.
Yeah.
It was one of the virtues that a woman possesses.
Oh, the power.
The
true power.
Is how she speaks to a man. And also, but number one, primarily before that, it was her piety, her reverence toward the Most High. As a woman that feared the Lord, she was the standard that we talked about last week. That's what you want to look for, and that's what every woman should want to emulate themselves after, is a woman that has reverence and respect for the Most High. And also for the men as well. It was also about reverence and respect for men. That was a virtue of men. Then we kind of went into the storyline of the Beauty and the Beast, how you can see that narrative, not just on Disney, but you can see that narrative in the Bible. The concept of a woman that had virtue being with a man that was rough around the edges and very stern. So we want to...
You did go to explain the beauty of bodies versus the beauty of souls.
Yeah, absolutely. So we kind of want to just bring that back up just as a refresher and continue on from that point. I know we stopped where in 1 Samuel chapter 25, where David found out how Nabal responded to his good gesture, which was to look out for his flocks and to build a wall around his herdsmen to make sure that none of the flocks got lost, none of the men were injured. And did some free detail, some free security set up for Nabal's sheep shearers and his flock. And in turn, he was requited evil for good in his petition to show goodwill and good faith towards Nabal. And we kind of stopped right where Nabal had responded to the 10 men that David sent to pass the message if there's anything that Nabal could do. But before we read on, it's too many things about Nabal not to isolate, to continue and just read on from that point. So I know we said we're going to continue from that point, but after looking back at Nabal's mentality, we have to take time to isolate and open up a window of seeing Nabal's mind frame and how he thinks and how he operates. Because that mind frame is what set the tone for the stark personality contrast between Abigail and Nabal. All right? So that's why today I think we need to, before we just move and read on to David's response to Nabal, I think we need a little bit more time to look at the mind frame of Nabal and to see how corrosive that mind frame is and what the hell was wrong with the ball. All right. So we got to do that first before we read on.
You did go into a point that I didn't know was that was such a present point, is that he was extremely intense into drinking.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Before we get to there though, because he was in certain writings, not the scriptures, but he had a party for his herdsmen, and but some writings say he had a party and an orgy. You know what I'm saying? So it was more to the ball than just the alcohol.
He was a fool. He was a foolish man.
Yeah, he was wild. He was a wild guy.
Yeah.
But before we even get to that point, we got to start looking and peering into his mind frame, and that's what we're gonna do today. Before we move on in the storyline, first and foremost, let's get Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. We do have it on the screen. First brother reading.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man.
It says, okay, so we're supposed to be putting off the old man also. So as we read the Bible, we're not just looking at the Bible from a third person standpoint. We're looking at the Bible from, hey, man, this can pertain to me. My characteristics, my personality also is in the Bible. The things that of how I think and how I operate as a man or a woman is in the Bible. And there are certain things about me that need to be put off, as the Bible is stating right here. Read it again.
Ephesians 4 and 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man.
Go ahead.
Which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts.
It says the old man is corrupt where?
According to the deceitful.
According to the deceitful lust. So there's things about us that need to be removed. So as we read about in the ball, you know, you got to identify, are those elements that are in the ball in me also? And that's what we want to take a look at. Is, do I possess some of the characteristics and attributes of the ball? All right. He said that you put off the what?
The former conversation concerning the old man.
All right. It says, which is, go ahead.
It says that you put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed.
Be renewed where?
In the spirit of your mind.
And the more we read about in the ball, you might start seeing yourself, elements of yourself, even that much more clear. Now, the word in the ball, the name the ball means what?
Fool.
Fool.
A fool.
Fool. It means a fool, right? So, we got to see, okay, are there times and were there times where I was a fool? Because if we think deep enough and look at it deep enough, we can see it. All right? So we're supposed to be being renewed in the spirit of what?
Spirit of meekness.
We got to read, bro. In the spirit of what?
In the It says, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
It being renewed in the spirit of where?
Your mind.
In your mind. So as we read about these stories, we should all be looking to be renewed in the spirit of our minds, making changes mentally. Not just to look at this like a story in the Bible and it's just a good story. It's more than a good story. It should be evidence that I need to change the way I think. All right? So let's go to Mark chapter 4, verse 18. I believe we have that on the screen too.
Mark chapter 4, verse 18.
Through 19.
Mm-hmm. You got it?
Got it. Mark chapter 4, verse 18 reads, and these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches.
Okay, it says that the cares of this world, go ahead.
And the deceitfulness of riches.
Go ahead.
And the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful.
So these are three things that can make any man or woman unfruitful, unproductive, where you bear no fruit, where you don't grow. What are the three things that can keep any man or woman from growing? What are they?
Deceitfulness of riches.
It says the pursuit that wealth shall make me better is one that can make a man or a woman unfruitful. Me chasing the dollar, me chasing financial stability can ruin and choke the word out of somebody, male or female. That I have to put this as a priority over my spiritual reformation or renewing of my mind. What's number two?
and the lust of other things entering in.
It says the deceitfulness of riches. It says
Cares
of the world. You skip that part. Number one is cares of this world. So the cares of this world, meaning I have an attachment to physical carnal things more than I have attachment to the scriptures, more than I have an attachment to change. That's number one. Cares of this world. I care too much about physical possessions. That's always a marker for destruction. Deceitfulness of riches. That if I have money, I'll be a better person. People will like me more if I have money. I can do more things if I have money. I'll be more respected if I have money. And the last is what?
And the lust of other things entering in.
And the lust of other things. Me wanting something so bad, but that it's not the Most High. Me wanting something other than Christ. It will choke Christ out of you. It will choke the word out of you.
So you're saying having objects of desire that are not based on Christ.
Come. These things are dangerous. These are very dangerous. And this is what we have to look out for. And when you look at Nabal, you're going to find out that Nabal was guilty of all three of these. All right? And that's why we have to take time before we just move on in the reading to dissect the mind of Nabal first. And give me the definition of dissection in 1828. Give me the second definition of dissection.
Let's make sure we tighten up his readers.
Dissection 1828. Come on. It's D-I-S-S-E-C-T.
That's the section. The act.
Get the second definition.
The act of separating into constituent parts.
Constituent.
Constituent parts.
It says the act of separating into what?
Constituent parts.
It says the act of separating into constituent parts. Go ahead.
For the purpose of critical examination.
It says for the purpose of critical examination. So instead of just reading through 1 Samuel chapter 25 about Nabal being just a fool, we want to dissect the mind of Nabal. We want to critically examine in different parts what was wrong with Nabal. What was his issues? What was his shortcomings? What was his problem? What was his mentality like? What ailed Nabal? So this is why we're going to take our time instead of just moving. I don't want to just move on in the reading, but let's go ahead and go there in 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 25, verse 3.
First Samuel 25,
Verse 3.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 3.
Yeah, hold on a second. Go ahead and read that.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 3. Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife was Abigail. And she was a woman of good understanding.
She was a woman of what?
Good understanding.
And last week we kind of talked in detail about what does that mean for a woman to have good understanding. Just real quick.
Piety towards the Most High. She's conscious of the Father.
She's what?
She's pietist. Her piety towards the Most High is up there in her. She's very conscious of the Father.
All right.
The Most High God.
What else?
Like you were saying earlier, a mouth, communication,
General
disposition.
or kind speech.
Her kind speech.
Yeah.
You know, she had good understanding. So she knew how to talk. She knew how to talk to people.
She wasn't abrasive.
Right. So this is what made Abigail a woman of good understanding. Read. You're in a.
It says, and of a beautiful countenance.
And so Abigail had a beautiful countenance. It wasn't just that she was beautiful in the face or in the dress. She was beautiful inwardly. That we have brought up that it was not about the embroidery of the hair, but it was about the inward person. She was
Ornamentation of the soul.
ornament of a good heart.
Yeah.
So inwardly she was beautiful. It wasn't just the outside, her countenance. It was how she conducted herself inwardly. It was her discretion that she possessed that we talked about last week that made Abigail beautiful. Read on.
But the man was churlish.
It said, but the man was what?
Churlish.
It said, but the man was churlish. And churlish also meant surly, which is S-U-R-L-Y. Get that definition real quick. Churlish meant surly also. What's the definition of surly? S-U-R-L-Y.
It says gloomily morose, crabbed, sour,
He was sour.
rude,
He was rude. He was sour.
dark, tempestuous,
He was argumentative, rough, tempestuous, dark.
melancholy.
You know, always talking down.
It's a bad vibe. Bro.
Yeah. There was never no joy coming from him. He was always tempestuous, meaning there was always agitated, aggravated,
It said sternly sour.
sternly sour, and he was a bitter man. So a lot of times you come into a situation where this man is has bad attributes and a bad mentality, a foul mentality, but he got money, but he's got wealth, and he got resources. Jump to verse 6. Isaiah, 1 Samuel 25, verse 6.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 6. And thus shall ye say to him that liveth in prosperity.
And this is what David told his men when you go talk to Nabal, because Nabal lives in what?
Prosperity.
So you got a man who is sternly sour, melancholy, bitter,
Craft. Morose.
gloomy,
It also says hostile.
but hostile. But he got a good job.
Oh, yeah.
But he paid bills.
You gotta have a good car to get a good job.
He paid bills. He paid bills. He got a good job. He's responsible when it comes to business. But what's his attitude like? Rough.
Tempestuous. Dark.
So
Melancholy.
So you read that David is sending his men to a man that has financial stability, but spiritually, he's not conducive to deal with.
Calm.
Now, what is it? Now, I want you to read about this right here, if you can. Read this one point with just the asterisk right here.
God, note the fruitfulness of the earth.
So, just because a man knows how to make business, he knows how to take what the Most High gives him, which is the fruitfulness of the earth. You know how to take it, flip it, and earn something from it, right? He said the fruitfulness of the earth. Go ahead.
The fruitfulness of the earth is a great blessing.
It's a great blessing. Go ahead.
But it is a blessing which the Most High often gives
He says it is a blessing that the Most High often gives. Go ahead.
plentifully to wicked men.
He says sometimes the Most High gives the blessing that comes from the earth, but you'll read about it in the scriptures. A lot of men that get the blessing of the earth are not good men.
Yeah, I believe that.
They're not good men at all. Just because I know how to go to work and pay bills, and I can brag about my income and my wealth, my stability, my financial stability, that doesn't make me a good man. That doesn't make me a prominent man in the eyes of the Most High because I can pay bills or my bank account is fat.
I got to pull this one scripture right here in that same vein. It says Psalms 73, verse 3. Psalms 73, verse 3. Go.
Psalm 73 and verse 3. For I was envious at the foolish.
David said he was envious at the what?
At the foolish.
At the fool. What's Nabal's name?
Fool.
Fool. A lot of us, if we're going to be introspective, become envious at fools. Why? Read.
When I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
When he saw the what?
The prosperity of the wicked.
When we're spiritually immature or out of pocket with the Father or out of the Spirit, we become, one of the signs of that is to become envious of people that are doing better than us, but they're not with the Father and they're foolish. That's a major issue. That's why I'm glad you brought that out.
Read it again.
God, the fruitfulness of the earth is a great blessing, but it is a blessing which the Most High often gives plentifully to wicked men.
He said he oftenly gives wealth, stability to who?
To wicked men.
Wealth and stability don't equate a good man.
No.
Read on.
God. It says, to whom it is a snare.
It said, but to a wicked man, it's a what?
A snare.
So just because you have wealth, stability, financial stability, you may pursue that. What you don't realize is the Most High is blessing you with a what?
That's
With a trap. You're actually in a trick bag. The Most High is blowing you up just to what?
Set you up.
To set you up and bring you for a fall. He set you up. The wealth and the resources are a trap on the other end of those resources. Of that financial stability. It's to trap you up. So really, the Most High blessed a wicked man with a curse. Finish that?
God. It says that we may not.
It says that we may what?
that we may not think to judge.
It says that we may not think to what?
To judge.
So that to kill your perspective and the wrong idea that the Most High is with me because I got money. Because a lot of people walk around with that mentality. The Most High is with me because I got money.
It's a false concept.
That is a blessing. We call what the Most High gives as a physical resource a blessing from God, when in actuality, He's only giving it to you to set you up for a fall because you're no good on the inside.
Yeah.
Because you pursue the stability over virtues. So the Most High set a man up with a trap. So a lot of us think that the more I make, the better I am. Blessed by God. Supposedly. That's a farce. That's a lie. He says to do what?
It says that we may not think to judge.
You're subject to a small revenue and a small check, a monthly check. And you're relegated to a small check every month. Does that mean that the Most High hates you? Because of your financial stability is low and lacking. So that means that God hates you. No, that means you don't know whether the Most High is with you or not. And you can't determine whether the Most High is with you or not by finances, by economic stability. Doesn't guarantee that the Most High is with you or against you. So you know what that means? Let me just rule out finances as what I use to determine godliness. Let me go ahead and rule that out. Because finances don't equal godliness.
But people suppose that gain is godliness.
Exactly.
Can I put one?
We're going to get there.
Okay.
It's not that, right?
No, it's not that. I promise that.
Okay. Yeah, we can read that.
Yeah, Job 31, 23, and 24. Job 31, 23, and 24. So David dealt with this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Job dealt with this scenario. They say Job's one of the oldest books in the Bible. So this ain't nothing new.
Nothing new.
There's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun.
Job 31.
Men put their confidence in resources, and they believe their resources, because of the abundance of their resources, that the Most High is with them because of their resources.
I'm blessed, man. How you been, brother?
Oh, you know I'm blessed, dog.
I'm blessed.
I'm blessed. I'm doing all right. I'm comfortable.
Yep.
How you feeling?
Man. Oh, dog, you fell off, man. Like man told me.
Oh, yeah.
When I I didn't dress the same. I didn't have the same ride, the same vehicle, the same. Brother, man, what happened to you? You fell off, dog.
That was the first thing you said.
Yeah, first thing.
He didn't say hi. Huh?
He
didn't say, what's up? What's good?
No,
I ain't seen you in 5 years.
Yeah. I ain't seen you in a minute.
How's
man.
your family?
He said, "Dog, you fell off, man. What's happened to you?" You know what happened
That
to
was
me?
his first.
Wisdom is my priority, brother. Not stability. Not the look. I don't have to have the cares of this life. I'm not choked by the cares of this life anymore. I don't care about status anymore. I don't care about where I sit in the wealth gap. That's not important anymore. But when you let other people on the outside look in, they say, "Man, you fell off." Well, go ahead.
You don't have to parade an image.
Yeah.
Job 31, verse 23. Let's read it real quick.
Job chapter 31, verse 23.
Uh-huh.
For destruction from the Most High was a terror to me.
Job said destruction from God was a terror to him. Read.
And by reason of his highness, I could not endure.
He said the Most High was checking his life so much that he barely thought he could make it. I almost can't handle this. This is almost too much. I almost might take myself out. He lost everything. Read on.
If I have made gold my hope.
He's like, man, I do nothing wrong. Listen. Did I make gold my hope? Now, gold's worth $2,000 an ounce in our money, right? 2,000 plus, right? Pretty much. He said, did I make money my hope? Was it my faith?
You know, a lot of people feel like the more I put on the image of stability, that it means the Most High is with me. And you know what? That's what fake pastors do.
Yeah, it's true.
Fake pastors put on the image. They got the rolls, they got the car, they got the get money quick kit.
Yeah.
I got the jet, I got the tour bus, I got the Rolls Royce,
For the lack of the suit.
I got the suit. I put on the image on the outwardly that the Most High is with me.
Come.
But anybody can do that. But that doesn't mean the Most High is with you by that image. But go ahead.
Read on.
Verse 24. If I had made gold my hope,
Did I put my faith in gold or money? Read on.
or have said to the fine gold, thou art my confidence,
Did I make my confidence as a man
No, go ahead.
fine gold? Gold really accentuates your appearance.
Mhm.
Gold puts people in order on a social, carnal level. Gold makes a man, if he's not with the Father, get confident without any true basis for confidence. Read on. And one last point. That's it.
verse 25. If I rejoice because my wealth was great,
He said, if I rejoice, that I rejoice because my wealth was great.
Some men do. Some women do.
You're happy now. Oh,
So, yeah.
you're not happy when you read the Bible, but when you open up and you go through, you look at your bank account, you're like, I'm
good
gonna
now.
be okay.
It's
No,
working.
I'm gonna be okay.
now you could wear that shirt that says "Blessed and highly favored."
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed and highly
Exactly.
favored.
I'm gonna be all right.
You know, I'm really blessed now. God is good.
God's with me.
His God is with. What is God not with you when you're broke too?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Some men might not think
Some men
that.
don't believe that. See, but the Most High said that's why He doesn't constitute wealth as being the measure and the litmus test of sustainability with the Father. That doesn't mean the Most High is with you
Come.
because you're at a certain level financially, or you look apart. You look the part. Doesn't guarantee it. Go ahead.
Read on.
if I rejoice because my wealth was great,
Or what?
and because mine hand had gotten much,
Because my personal ability, me,
Yep.
my talent, my skill, my mind, my brain, my heart, where I came from, what I do, my job, my career, my intelligence, me, my hand had gotten much. Some people rejoice and think that God's with them because of their ability to attain on their own desires, their ability to actualize and make plans and purport those plans into reality. It was in my head, and then I made it a reality. Because you was breaking down manifestation
Mm-hmm.
a couple days ago. Listen, bro, that doesn't determine the Most High's with you.
Doesn't guarantee it.
It means you're just really good at organizing and executing. That was the point, bro.
Pull it. Pull it, and then last shot got one too.
Luke 11, verse 39 and 40. And the Lord said unto him, Now do ye Pharisees make clean the outside of the cup.
Because who were the Pharisees? They were the leaders of the people.
Yeah.
And the leaders of the people put on an image. They put on the image of stability. They put on the image of stress-free.
Yeah.
They put on the image that I'm not stressing over nothing. You need to get you need to do what I'm doing.
I ain't got no words.
Yeah, because I understand why you live in the way you live in. You live in faith by faith. But I'm comfortable. The image I portray is comfortable. He said, but the Pharisees put on that outward appearance, the glorious apparel. Read on.
Of the cup and the platter. But your inward part.
He said, but your inward part, a lot of people will compromise the inward part just to look stable on the outside. I mean, I don't care about my spiritual growth. I care more about looking like I'm doing well. I can live a lie and I'll be okay.
God.
I can live a lie. And we met clean homeless people, bro. We deal, a lot of brothers that we teach are homeless. And you would never know they was homeless. Because brothers, we've taught brothers, congregated fellowship, and invited brothers in our congregation that was homeless, but you'll never know it. They have a pot to piss in, but they were you would never know it by their dress code. Because a lot of people can put on the image that I'm doing well. It doesn't mean I'm doing well. But some people would rather live a lie and focus on the external versus saying, you know what, I care more about my spiritual well-being. I care more about my inner man than I actually do about my external man. What Christ is dealing with is men that think the opposite. Christ is dealing with the Pharisees who care more about the exoskeleton,
Yeah.
the outside, how they're perceived in their image versus actually what's going on inside of me and the changes that I need to make inside of me. That should be more important than my physical status, how much money I got. Man, God ain't with me because I'm broke, or God don't want me to be broke. Y'all want me to be broke? Y'all want me to be poor and needy? Brother, no, we don't. We just want you to focus on what's important. There's nothing wrong with riches if they're gotten righteously. But a lot of us will forsake what the Most High gives us as virtues just for the appearance that we're doing well. Read.
He says, but your inward part is full of ravening and wickedness.
He says, but your inward part is full of what?
Ravening and wickedness.
So what's more important, the inside or the outside? The inside of a person is more
The
important.
shell, right?
Yeah,
That was about?
right. The external? No, but it's about the inside. Read.
Verse 40. Ye fools.
Once again, fool is what? Nabal. He said, ye fools. Read.
Did not he that made that which is without make that which is within also?
He said, don't the Most High make the inside and the outside? Didn't he make both of them?
True.
He said bodily exercise profited little, right? We went over last week. He said, but godliness profited unto all. So you know what that means? Let me clean the inside, not just the outside. Let me clean up the inside and the outside. Let me do both. But a lot of us will forsake one for the other because we quantify righteousness being with the external shine. We quantify righteousness with financial stability, and that's not the case. What you got?
Just want to put it on that point, Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 9 and verse 11. Because, and we've seen this a lot, especially on the moves and deliveries. You can tell for those that are on the cusp, for brothers that might be battling with this thought of their external appearance, they always run to people who throw in job opportunities to them. I can build you up. I can make you this. I can create this. This is what I did. You can follow in my footsteps. It's that simple.
Pyramid schemes.
Pyramid. I can get you involved in something better than what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
We see it all the time. But what Satan is doing is, I'm going to keep throwing this idea in your mind because that's really what you're playing with all day.
Planet. Yes.
Yeah.
It is manifest.
You'll hear words like, you need to leverage your time.
Yeah.
Leverage your time. Like
It's a big one.
what's that?
Leverage your time.
Leverage your time.
Time management is a big
Time
thing.
management. You need to leverage your
Make money
time.
while you sleep.
Won't you? How about spending more time with your family and less time at work while
Exactly.
making more money?
Exactly.
You hear?
It's a great deal.
You hear these sales pitches all the time.
Come.
That's just a pool pitch.
That's all it is.
So,
But it's really to play what was already in you. Like Elisha said, it was already in your heart anyway. That's why we jump to opportunities as soon as we can because we think the grass is greener.
Exactly. Because the reality is, like you were saying earlier, what men don't realize is prosperity is in the Most High's hands. And a man's prosperity is in the Most High's hands. The problem is, what we don't realize, there's a sinner that had great gain. But the rest of that verse says, that great gain turns to loss. And this is why this verse says this. Read on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner.
It says, don't envy the glory of a sinner, the big house, the fancy car, the image of stability. Because there's a hidden ending that you haven't foreseen yet. You've seen where they're at right now. You don't see where they're going. The down here trajectory of their life.
You don't see the trap that the Most High got set
The
up.
Most High is setting up and entrapping. Like you read in Isaiah, it talks about how the Most High has different ways to get every single person, right?
Mm-hmm.
He'll have a specific way to take you up. Some ways, I'm going to make all the people around you lie and make you believe in an imagination. Some ways, I'm going to build you up just to tear you down. Isn't that a great play or a great movie? What do they call it? Not the fall off, but the climax. It's a climax. I'm going to build you up, make you think like life is great, that you're doing all right, just to tear everything down.
It usually happens when you reach the apex of your stability.
Exactly.
And you reach the precipice of success. It's when you reach the peak. That's when the Most High usually gets you at the best because it has the maximum shock value.
When you can't see it coming.
You don't see it coming.
There was no way you could have predicted this outcome.
And the fall is greater that way because you're at a higher height.
Because that's the only way to tear that pride down. Yeah. That pride got built up behind your fake stability. So I got to tear you all the way down.
Or wrong pursuits.
Or wrong pursuits, exactly.
Because we read earlier, it was 3 things that man fall victim to that destroys both males and females. And what are they, Mount Wooler?
Yeah.
You was in Mark. You had it in Mark chapter 4.
I'm not at Mark.
Somebody get it.
Who has it, bro?
I want Mark chapter 4. We read it earlier. 4:19.
Mark chapter 4, verse 19. It says, and the cares of this world.
There's 3 things that can knock you out and choke the word out of you. Yep. These 3 things can choke Christ out of you.
Yep.
What are they?
And the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches.
Slow it down. It says the cares of this world. You care too much about this world. That can choke Christ out of you.
Yep.
What else?
And the deceitfulness of riches.
And the fact that I think God is with me when I'm doing well financially. That can choke Christ out of you. What else?
And the lusts of other things.
And you wanting other things other than the Most High in Christ can also choke Christ out of you. That's male or female.
Yep.
That's why it's so important to understand before we even go into Nabal, we got to start looking at different elements that this man is guilty of.
Exactly.
This man first, now let's go back to verse 6 in 1 Samuel chapter 25.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 6. And thus shall ye say to him that liveth in prosperity.
It said, and David said to his men, when you get to Nabal, the man that lives in what?
Prosperity.
Read on.
Peace.
He said, peace, man. Well, go ahead.
Peace be both to thee, and peace be to thine house.
Go ahead.
And peace be unto all that thou hast.
Man, that man gave nothing but a blessing. He gave nothing but a blessing to you, to your whole house and your family, and to everything you own. Gave him nothing but a blessing. Read on.
Verse 7. And now I have heard.
Now jump down to verse 10. We're not going to read the whole thing again.
Verse 10. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, who is David?
I don't know that man. Damn, what kind of man why would you even respond like this to a man that just asked the Most High to bless you, your house, and everything you own?
He would have rejected his blessing anyway. He was blessing him.
He was giving him a blessing.
Most I could have honored it.
That's what I said. We can't just skip over this Nabalian mind frame.
Mm-hmm.
We can't just skip over this. It's too much meat in this guy's mind to just jump right over this guy's attributes and his characteristics and his personality. We can't just read on and read how angry David was. We got to find out what is up with this man. What's wrong with this man's mind?
Because he's a forward man.
He's a forward man.
He's a strange man.
Yep. Strange and wicked.
Yeah, strange and wicked.
Right. So, verse 11.
Verse 11. He says, shall I take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be?
Now, what is the one common theme that you already see while you're looking at the mind frame of Nabal? What is the one common theme that he's constantly saying in verse 11? But he said what?
He said, shall I take then my bread?
He said,
I.
He said, I. Then he said, my bread. He said, my water. And what?
And my flesh.
And my flesh, my meat from my sheep. I got sheep meat. He got goat meat. Anybody know goat meat is good, bro?
Oh, yeah,
Lamb. We love lamb. We love goat. Wait. Goat stew.
I love it.
Slam it out. But he said, you want, I know you hit the
actually
crock
wasn't
pot.
bad.
You didn't bring none. I
know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good.
Don't talk about how good it is. You know, you learned that from school, man. You ain't bringing up, but don't bring up. You ain't bringing up the shit. Don't bring it at all. Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, bro. All that's gonna be is make. Come on, y'all. I'm
gonna make some. I gotta get some rice out.
I'll make people hungry.
I make the rice.
And you know, down here when he talk about it, he gonna talk about how what the season is.
Exactly.
And the temperature he cooked it at, the rosemary that he rubbed on it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just make you hungry.
I'm gonna bring something.
Please do.
Yeah.
So he said,
God, feel like picking.
he said, my bread, my water, my meat. Listen to the terminology. He sound like Johnny Gill, man.
Yeah.
My. So everything is mine.
Yeah.
But when you go to Psalms, give me before we go to Psalms, hold on. Give me Hosea chapter 2, verse 8 and 9.
Hosea 2 and 9.
2 and 8. 2 and verse 8 and 9. I want Psalms. Give me Psalms chapter 50.
Hosea chapter 2 and verse 8. When you're ready.
Read that.
For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold.
So Most High is the one that gives you corn and wine. And the Most High is the one that multiplies your what?
Silver and gold.
Your silver and gold. It's the Most High that does it. It ain't you. The first thing that you hear out of Nabal's mouth is what? Mine. My bread, my water, my meat. You ain't hear nothing about what the Most High gave me. It's mine. Look at what you want me to take what I have, what I got from my meat, my bread. Finish that verse.
Con says which they prepare for Baal.
Now give me Psalm chapter 50 and read verse 10.
God.
Psalms chapter 50 and verse 10 reads, For every beast of the forest is mine.
What did the Most High say?
For every beast of the forest is mine.
No, it's Nabal's.
For every beast of the forest is mine.
No, those are Nabal's lamb chops.
For every beast of the forest is mine.
What is the Most High? Why is the Most High got to make this declaration?
Because man take what they have and say that it's theirs.
Because man will take glory that belongs to the Father and attribute it to themselves and say, this belongs to me. You know what the Most High is, you know what you're watching, what's wrong with Nabal? This man is oblivious of what the Most High has given him. He's completely oblivious. He said, you want me to take my bread, my water, my meat? Don't he know that nothing is his? But that's how men do. You want me to take my car and give that man a ride home? Oh, really?
It's your car.
It's your car. Oh, okay. You want me to take what belongs to me and give it to that? I don't know that man. That's why I said is we just can't look at Nabal like he's a story. You got to look at Nabal and you. Because there's times when you don't recognize that everything you have is the Most High's. And it's not yours. But read on.
I got couples right here.
Yeah, let me finish this and then we can come right back to it.
For every beast of the forest is mine,
Go ahead.
and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountain.
The Most High said, I know every one of the birds that's in every mountain. He knows each one of them by name, by attribute, and he feeds all of them. Where do we start using this terminology, mine? This belongs to me. As if what you've been given hasn't been given to you and you're not the creator of it. You didn't create it. You didn't create bread. You didn't create the corn. You didn't create the animals. You know what? At best, what we have to understand, we are servants, we're stewards, and we're landlords.
Right.
We're managers. That's all you are as a manager. You're not the owner of nothing you possess. You're a manager at best. You're a servant, you're a steward, and if you own some land, you're a landlord. You didn't create the land. But that Nabal mind frame, oh, you have possession now. This is yours now. You didn't create nothing. Therefore, you're only being lent everything you possess. You don't own anything. Everything belongs to the Father. Finish that?
I know the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine.
All the billy goats, all the kangaroos, all the grizzly bears, they all belong to who?
Most High.
Most High.
The Most High. You don't have nothing. If you listen to Nabal, he doesn't understand who gave him the authority or the power or the wealth and the resources that this man possesses. He's oblivious to the Most High. He's disconnected from the Most High.
You know what's crazy? He might have just been blessed by the Most High to give that opportunity to bless David and his army.
Ultimately, that could have been an opportunity. The scriptures say, entertain angels. Be not forgetful to entertain angels or strangers, because you entertain angels unaware. Sometimes you don't know when the Most High sent an angel your way just to see if you was going to share or not. Just to see if you were worthy of that blessing. But you know what? That my mentality, This is mine. I own this. Why should I have to share what I have? Why should I have to give what I own? That my mentality is deadly. Because you forfeit blessings left and right. You forfeit blessings daily, not knowing who's really the one in charge to give it to you, to distribute it to somebody else. But that's mistake number one. Already looking at where the ball is off at. First mistake, reading about the ball and him matching up to his name. A fool. Because a fool is disconnected from the Most High, not knowing where their riches come from. That's a fool. Go ahead, get the scripture. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let me pull it real quick. Proverbs 10 and 32.
Let's get that.
Proverbs chapter 10, verse 32.
Huh?
It says, the lips of the righteous know what is acceptable.
The lips of the righteous, or the correct man. And I believe in previous classes, it was probably last week, you said righteousness was
Purity of heart. Purity of heart.
So the lips of a man who's pure of heart know what?
It says, knoweth what is acceptable.
Knows what is acceptable. This is why Shamsu Shawan is zooming in to the speech of Nabal. The scripture says a man of a pure heart should know what's acceptable. Right? So therefore, if Fool or Nabal was saying inordinate conversation, then obviously something about his conversation was what? Not acceptable. That me first speech is not acceptable. Read.
It says, but the mouth of the wicked.
But the mouth of the wicked, which is the opposite of righteous, which is the opposite of pure, or the impure, which is unbelieving. Read.
Speaketh forwardness.
He speaketh what?
Forwardness.
Forwardness. The word forward means difficult to deal with.
Yep.
So Most High is like, this is hard to hear this guy talk.
Yeah, especially coming from the owner of it all.
Huh?
For the Most High who owns it all, to hear you say mine. To hear you say this belongs to me. This is my car. This is my house. This is my stuff. That my meat, my food, my money. Man, you wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for the Most High. You wouldn't possess anything at all. But it shows you that there's a disconnection from being able to perceive that the Most High is involved. I'm disconnected from the Father. You see that already in the ball. So let's go back to where we are in 1 Samuel chapter 25 and verse 11.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 11. It says, shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shears and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be?
You want my rib to braid that man's hair?
Wow.
I don't know that man. You want my rib to cook food for that house? That's my rib.
This is my house.
That's my house. That food need to go to my house.
That time go to me?
You want me to watch your kids? Them ain't my kids.
That's your kids.
I watch my kids.
You watch your own kids.
Okay. Everything's yours, right? Okay. That's why the Most High said this. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 7.
Proverbs chapter 13,
The my guys are.
verse 7. There is that maketh himself rich,
They said there's a man like Nabal that makes himself rich. Go ahead.
yet hath nothing.
But he ain't got what?
Wow.
Nothing.
He ain't got nothing, man. There's a lot of rich, empty men. There's a lot of rich men that's empty. But they're empty where?
In the spirit.
In their fear of the Lord. They're not rich towards God. They're empty in reverence and respect to the Most High. They're empty in virtues. They got money. They got money. But inside, that soul is what?
How?
That soul is empty, bro.
My question would be this. Is that equivalent? Because a man's wealth would be, in this society, the equivalence of his beauty as a man. Will that same concept apply to women who would trust in their exterior as well?
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's male and female. It's a lot of well-to-do empty souls. It's a lot of people that are well off and have nothing to offer you inwardly. Because some people have the thought process that Because I possess this, I don't need that. I possess wealth, which is my confidence, which is what I use to give myself validation. It's how I validate myself. And I don't really utilize virtues to validate myself. I use physical, carnal things. I use worldly things. I use this world's good to validate my value as a man or a woman. Right?
Come.
So he said there's many people that get wealth, and they do get it. But they ain't got nothing to give you. They have nothing to offer you. There's the inside, that spirit is hollow. But they got some money in their pocket though. And that makes some men that pursue righteousness jealous, which is foolish to even think that. Just because you went to seek after social status doesn't mean that you actually possess virtues. Read it one more time.
God. Proverbs 13 verse 7. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing.
Yet that man is empty. But you got it, right? But you empty on the inside. Verse 11.
Wealth gotten by vanity.
He said wealth gotten by what?
By vanity.
It says wealth gotten by what?
Vanity.
Vanity. Meaning I exchange something that is worth something for something that's worth nothing. So how do we do that? We gotta break this down. He said wealth gotten by vanity. Go ahead.
Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished.
It says shall be what?
Diminished.
So what is wealth gotten by vanity that the Most High said he'll take away? Job 31 and 24. Mm-hmm.
This one's all right.
Yeah. He jumped to it, but it's all right.
Oh, smart.
It's all right. That means the class is good. I mean, it's easy to understand. It's easy to follow. Because we get the points. The point is what?
Now, Job chapter 31, verse 24. If I have made gold my hope.
That's why now we understand why he said that you get this by vanity. Because what is your confidence?
Gold.
Gold. But that doesn't fill you inwardly as a man. It doesn't substantiate your real value. It doesn't tell you what you're really worth. Remember, we read last week heavily about a woman's worth. Remember that?
Yep.
About what makes a woman valuable. It's her piety. It's her chastity. It's her respect of the Most High. It's her fear of the Lord. It's her discretion. It's her word selection. How she talks to people. How she talks to her family, her husband. How the respect she has for authority.
She treats people.
How she treats people. All these things is what quantifies value. Is a comely soul.
Yeah.
Money doesn't equal a comely soul. Read on.
Now, if I have made gold my hope, or have said to the fine gold, thou art my confidence.
Right. And they said to the fine gold, this is my confidence. This is wealth gotten by vanity. Because you know what? Gold could never give you real confidence. Because what happens when the money is gone? What happens when the Most High take the money?
The man is gone.
The man is gone. The woman is gone.
That's a scary thing, though. That's why people jump off of buildings.
That's why the guy jumped off a building last year. The CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond, I believe.
Yeah.
He jumped. He had his wife in a condo.
Yeah.
His wife didn't know he stepped off the balcony.
Wow.
But the stocks tumbled. He didn't know how to handle it. And he walked out on the balcony of like the 26th floor or something. I don't even remember how high it was. He stepped out on the balcony and stepped over the balcony, and then his wife didn't even know he stepped over the balcony for a couple of hours later.
Sad.
But he didn't tell nobody that, hey, I don't know what to do as the CEO, and the stocks just crumbled.
Oh, for Wells Fargo, right?
No, it was
different. It
Yeah.
says CEO Mark Triton in June installed independent director Sue Gov of interim. It says Bed Bath & Beyond shares plunge on stock market after CFO's suicide.
Yeah, it was already doing bad. He was already under investigation. And then he just jumped off. He didn't want to face the news. So he just jumped off the balcony. So what happened when the money gone? Where's your confidence at?
That was his confidence.
That was my confidence.
Over-
That made me who I am.
Overstock.com acquires Bed Bath & Beyond.
Hey,
Done.
hey. That man didn't know how to handle that. That's wealth gotten by what? Vanity. Now go back to that in Proverbs 13:11.
Come. Proverbs 13 verse 11. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished.
Go ahead.
But he that gathereth by labor.
It says, but he that gathereth by what?
By labor.
It says, but the man that get it by what?
Labor.
What is that labor that he's referring to? He says, that man that get it by labor, read on,
Shall increase.
shall increase. What is the one that gets it by labor? What does he mean by that? You gotta go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 7. He said, that man shall increase.
Yeah.
What is that man? What is that man that gets it by labor? How is he going to increase? What does that mean? The man gets it by labor shall increase. Read that. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 7.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 7. So then neither is he that planteth anything.
That means that as I do my job, I don't use the word mine. I don't use the word I. I don't use the word this is for me. I did this. I bought this. I own this. This is my bread. This is my meat. This is my corn. This is my car. I don't use that. Because you know what I realized? That I'm what? Say it again. I'm nothing. I'm just a servant. I'm a steward and a landlord at best. I'm a manager. I manage what the Most High has given me. I don't own anything. That's why he says the one that labors shall increase, but the one that labors understanding what? That I'm nobody. I just do my job. And if somebody has a need, I fill it. Who am I to say I will and will not do anything? Then what I will and will not do? What I'm not going to share and I'm not going to give. Who am I to even say that? Read that again.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 7. So then neither is he that planteth anything.
It says I'm a planter. My job is to plant seeds. That's all. That's my job. I didn't make the seed. I just turned the ground over and put the seed in the ground. That's my job. Read on. Very simple. Read on.
Neither he that watereth.
If I'm the waterer, you know what my job is? Hey, man. I'm the waterer. My job is to go back over what's already been planted and pour a little bit of water on it and keep moving. I play my role. That's the one that will increase. I do what the Most High has given me to do. I don't own anything. I manage. I manage them seeds. I put them in the ground. I manage that water. I put it over the seeds. But read on.
But the Most High that giveth the increase.
But I know while I do my job, who's responsible for my eventual wealth?
The Father.
The Father. And if he wants me to have it, then he'll do what? He'll give it to me. That's not my concern. Whether I have the increase is not my concern. Whether I get wealthy or get rich is not my concern. My concern is to manage. My concern is to water or to plant seeds. I just stay in my lane. That man, the Most High said, will increase. That's the difference. One works and labors for vanity, and the other one is labors for increase because he knows his position. And so there's a difference between that mentality and the boss mentality. That's dangerous if you don't understand how the Most High blesses and what he wants you focused on while you do your work. Do your part. And you know what? You look up as you're watering, you look up, you got a little something. As you're planting seeds, you look up a couple of years, the Most High give you a little something. But a lot of people forsake that position because they're too busy occupied worried about the increase. When the increase is not your responsibility. The increase is who? The Most High's responsibility. He's the one that gives the increase. That's why you should worry about planting and watering and not worried about stability and well-being. Play your role, do your part.
So you're saying that for a man to think it's his power, his ability, his skill sets, his strengths, that has gotten him the ability to amass wealth, he's not playing his role. Then what role is he playing? Is he trying to play the Most High's role?
Before I say that, I'll say Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 17. Before I say he's playing the Most High's role, because then that puts him in a position of a God. And we are gods in the lowercase sense. But that just means, that's Psalms 82 when it says, ye are gods, but ye shall die like men. That God in a lowercase sense means magistrate. A magistrate is a what? A judge. Or a magistrate is a judge on a smaller level, making smaller decisions. Read that right there. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 17. More than I would say he's trying to be a God. Most High did call us gods, but on a lowercase g. But we can't make the increase happen. But Cain was. Cain was agitating the ground to make the increase. He was forcing the ground to try to make it produce, to make it yield more. A lot of us do that too. A lot of us kick against the pricks. We try to seek after some stability that the Most High didn't provide at that time. Read that right there.
Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 17. And thou say in thy heart, my power and the might of my hand.
Because you know what happens when I start becoming responsible for my wealth? I start to take what? Credit. I start to take credit. I start to take credit that belongs to who? The Most High. The Most High gets the credit. But I start saying, when I focus on my stability, and that becomes priority to me, the Most High never gets the credit. That's why Nabal is able to use the word mine. My bread, my water, my meat, because who's getting all the credit? Nabal's getting all the credit. So he's giving himself the credit that don't belong to him. So when you get, so that's why you should focus on your job. Because anything more than that, you start getting the credit for what you do. You start getting the credit for your wins. Now your wins are because of your wisdom. Read it again.
Deuteronomy 8 and 17. And thou say in thine heart, my power and my might and the might of my hand hath gotten me this wealth.
Go ahead.
But thou shalt remember the Lord thy power, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth.
Who's responsible for you increasing?
The Lord thy power.
It is he that does what?
Giveth you power.
Giveth you power. But your job is a what? In the meantime, until you get that power, until you get wealth, your job is to plant, and your job is to water.
Period.
Keep it simple. Until that time comes. Anything more than that, you're going to start pursuing something that your mind don't need to be on. It'll start patting your pride on the back. You start stealing glory from the Father. Look at what I did. Look at my ingenuity. Look how much of an engineer I am. I put myself in a position to be successful. Look at what I did. Read on.
Come, that he may establish his covenant which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day.
And it's the Most High who does that, not you. Stay in your lane. But Nabal is already taking credit that don't belong to him. Let's go back to where we are in 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 11. Now in verse 11.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 11.
We're still there. Yeah. Read that.
Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shears, and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be?
I don't know these men.
I want to know.
So how does the Most High look at that mindset? Proverbs chapter 11, verse 26. Read that.
Come.
This is property trick.
Proverbs chapter 11.
Get verse 24.
Verse 24. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 24 reads, there is that scattereth, and yet increaseth.
It said there's one that scattereth, and yet what?
Increaseth.
He scattereth, meaning he pushed people away, but yet he still keep getting what?
increase.
He's selfish.
I'm still blessed.
I'm still blessed, but I'm scattering.
Yeah.
But I'm still blessed. Read.
And yet increase it.
And yet he's still coming up, like Nabal. Nabal will push anybody away that he feels like is a threat to his prosperity, is a hindrance to his prosperity.
His material gain.
But you know what? I'm pushing all you parasites away from me.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody getting what I got. He said there is one that's scattered, and he still does what?
And yet increase it.
Go ahead.
And there is that withholdeth more than it is meet, but it tendeth to poverty.
Here
But
he hold more than his meat.
He said he hold back more than is what's right. Meat, not M-E-A-T, but M-E-E-T. Meaning he holds back more than is right. Meaning it wouldn't have hurt Nabal to give David a little something. He said, but to the Most High, he says, because of that action of that man is why I will take that man from having resources to poverty. Because you just couldn't simply give what wouldn't have actually hurt you. You wouldn't actually put yourself in a position to share, even though you had it to share.
More than enough.
More than enough. And since you don't want to share, I'm gonna take that what you have, and now I'm gonna make you poor to where now you're in the position of need.
To be diminished.
Now you, instead of you being in the position to give and to offer and sustain somebody else, you're gonna be the one begging now. You're gonna be in the one that the Most High is gonna reverse the roles. Why is that? Read on.
Come. Verse 25. The liberal soul shall be made fat.
Because the Most High said the one that he's going to increase and made fat is the soul that's what?
Liberal.
Liberal. What does that mean? He's a free giver. That's why the scriptures say the Most High love a what?
Cheerful giver.
A cheerful giver. See, the Most High blesses the givers with real true riches and wealth. Wealth that's sustained over time. But the greedy, stingy individuals, the one that scatters people that get away from what I have. Don't touch that. That's mine. Those individuals, the Most High bring those individuals to poverty.
To a lower state.
To a lower state.
Because it was crazy is they'll have maybe material stability, but they'll have no joy in their tabernacles. The relationships will be bent. I mean,
Explain it. Yeah, explain that.
We have dealt
Yeah.
listen, the mall is the best teacher in this conversation. Because we'll be in the mall, we were rapping with cats that are CEOs, cats that got just jobs because they got the hookup. Somebody hooked them up with a dope job because they went to school with somebody, and that person put them in a word form and got them in good positions out. And then you would start listening to their life. Church One was classic for this. He would talk to them and talk about their relationships. He would always shift from their jobs to their relationships, bro. And then you just hear the most backwards, alien conversation, bro. And it's like, kids hate him. The rib is there.
Disconnected from their children.
There's a disconnection on like the kids. The dad's just an ATM. Then the rib is like, I'm with you, but I hate you. But I'm not gonna leave you because we're living good. Then the friends are phony as a $3 bill. Then the guy's conscience it got guilt all them day. The guy's actually at the cart drunk because he don't go home.
Or you got pastors that we meet that are in that position.
Oh yeah, we had a mad pastor like that.
Multiple.
Yeah,
multiple pastors that are in that position. That
they're ready to cry.
Yeah, that they just care about the money that the congregation brings in.
Yeah.
But they're spiritually empty, bro. The Most High got their life turned upside down. You can see it on many platforms. I mean, the mall is a multi-year thing that we've done, that we've been in the public eye. Shout out to and shalom to those brothers out there that are in Houston and Virginia and New York. That's also pushing in the mall as well. Like we've been for 20-something years. Shout out and shalom to them brothers as well, because they understand that you meet when you're in the city. And you're in the main place of concourse and the hub of the city in the malls. You meet a variety, diverse kind of people with diverse kind of problems. And all you have to do is, regardless of how they present themselves in the mall, how much shopping they're doing and how much money they're spending, they're unhappy. And they come to the mall a lot of times for retail therapy. They're only coming there to feel better, to shop, blow a bag so I can feel better. And they're still empty as they were when they came out with just new shoes, with new wallets and new clothes and new coats and
I
jackets.
can't enjoy anything around.
But there's no real joy. Then they meet us in a position of need, but the conversation we have is worth gold. The amount of uplifting that we bring and counsel that we bring at the mall is the best part of their day. And what did Paul say? Shall I what? Shall I not reap your carnal? If I sow unto you spiritual, shall I not reap your carnal? So what we do is we sow spiritual seeds
all day
in exchange for them carnal seeds that they was gonna blow anyway. You know what I'm saying? We just make an exchange. You was gonna blow this on some Edomites that don't love you anyway. Let me go ahead and take them resources and exchange them resources for this $1 million council that we're about to have.
Exactly. Because they're not necessarily. It wasn't the product they were buying. They were buying peace of mind that all their resources and all they're
buying the solutions to their problems.
Yes.
And that's what they're buying in exchange. You know, and you know what? Sometimes you still give them that game, they still walk off like, I don't wear that stuff that you got. I don't wear that.
Cool.
I wear the real cologne.
Okay,
but anyway.
Do that.
All right, you got it, brother. After all this
He's the guy.
But anyway,
I remember one guy, bro, years ago. I called him Iceberg, bro, because he had diamonds, like light skinned brother with diamond earrings, with a bald head out.
Yeah, big dude.
I called him. I was blowing him up, making him feel good because he looked like he was down, man. So I picked him up, said, "Iceberg, how you feeling?" He said, "Yes." He never talked to me for like 2 years, bro. He kept passing me the car. I said, "What's up, man?" He blew me off.
I'm trying to think of who that is. Cause, you know,
it's a big dude. He always wear Iceberg.
Okay.
It's older dude.
Okay, I don't know. I remember. I gotta see him.
No.
I gotta see him.
That guy's name is Self-Made. I blew him up. Name is Self-Made. You blow. I learned when you blow these guys up that got pride, they don't want to talk to you anymore. Huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the Most High always brings him back down. Remember that Spurs player, right? That wishing nobody's hand, that was stunning on brothers. And the Most High broke him down and kicked the cart.
I don't want to say his name.
He lived. He said, yeah, man. Tried to talk to him when he first got his contract. He was smiling and talk to him. He was bragging and talking to him, rapping with him. He was cool. He didn't buy nothing. And then all of a sudden, Most High stung his leg. He was too good for us. Most High stung his leg, stung his knee. His Carter's his last name, right? His North Star Mall right in front of Grincy's at. He used to wear the baby blue, the teal blue all the time. He walked back up. He had to look. He might chick with gold shoes. Gold shoes. Right?
Damn, bro. You
I ain't gonna forget this guy. I'm not gonna forget this dude.
Yeah.
You studied on me too. Right?
That's why now I remember.
I'll never forget about it.
Now we have some revenge.
I was so right.
He wear gold shoes, wearing the teal, he had to eat my like damn.
I'll never forget him, bro. He came back to the cart, bro, and said, "Yeah, man, my contract with the Spurs is done, man, because I hurt my knees right before the Spurs won the championship. Yeah, my knees hurt, and things have changed. He never want to stop and talk other than brag about his riches. He said, man, I think about moving into a new neighborhood, man. I said, what neighborhood is that? It was right next to a
brother.
A brother, right next. He don't live right next to a Spurs player. He don't live right next to a brother. Most I took him from Escalade on 24s, teal.
I got
with gold rims. I'll never forget this guy. So, hey, bro, I'm gonna move next to your boss.
Yeah. Where y'all live at?
Yeah, we all live at.
You don't want to live where we live at.
You see, listen, bro, but he couldn't be talked to when his body was right. When his body's right, he couldn't be talked to.
You don't live at the brother's house.
Yeah, you don't live at the B's, huh?
You live at the brother's house.
You gonna argue with the brothers, huh? Everything.
Let's get back to it. So it says, he said what in verse 25? Yeah.
The liberal soul
be like that sometimes. It said the liberal soul what?
Shall be made fat.
It said, but the Most High said the givers, the ones that understand what's important, he said they shall be made what?
Fat.
Made fat.
They shall be made fat. The Most High loves the cheerful giver. They're the ones he gonna bless in the end. Not the Nabal mentalities, man. The Most High ain't blessing the Nabal mentalities. That dude is not a giver. You want me to take my bread, my water, my meat that I got from my shearers and give it to a man that I don't know? The Most High said the liberal soul shall be fat. Read on.
And he that watereth shall be watered also himself.
And back to that water again. The man that stay in his lane, he know his job. He know where his blessings come from. It doesn't come from him. It doesn't come from him. He's just a waterer.
Yeah.
I'm just a seed planter. He said that man that knows where his blessing comes from, he says, shall be watered also himself. That means the Most High bless the ones that stay in their lane and do their job and is humble. And they wait on the Most High to extend back to them. Read on.
He that withholdeth corn.
It said the man that hold back corn like Nabal. Read on.
He had something to offer.
He had a lot to offer.
He could have satisfied. You gotta think about it. These men were legitimately. You don't think after working all day?
No, they was out in the woods, but remember they was in Paran. They were in the wilderness. They were in the desert.
No.
These men were thirsty. These men was hot. These men were wandering in the desert.
You didn't think he knew that?
And David had at least 400 men with him. 400 men hungry. And this man got 1,000 sheep. Like, bro, you're not gonna lose much. You're not gonna lose much at all. All David asked for was just a little something off the top, man. Just a little extra. What do you have extra? Not asking for everything. If David wanted to be a villain, he could have just killed them damn sheep shearers and stole everything.
And burned his house down.
And took everything that man owned. If he wanted to be a knucklehead about it. But David respectfully put up a guard on him and said, man, hopefully he'll give us something in exchange for protection. Just a little security. He didn't even Suge Knight him.
He did that.
Suge Knight took Death Row Records. And he was originally a security.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the real security guard right there.
He was a security turned CEO. Strong arming. David didn't even do that.
Couldn't nobody stop him.
Read? He could have vanilla iced him, hung him over the balcony. Signed that Ice Baby contract. And I should get in the music business. How bully get into the business? David could have bullied him. Read on.
He that withholdeth corn.
He said, he that withholdeth corn. Go ahead.
The people shall curse him.
He said, the people shall what?
Curse him.
So what was eventually going to happen to the ball anyway?
Curse.
Why?
Oh, man.
That man's greedy as hell, man. Because he used that damn word "my" all the damn time. It's my bread, my water, my meat. This is my stuff, my food for my sheep shearers. Okay, you holding back corn, no problem. The people gonna curse you, and the Most High gonna hear it. And that's the danger to that greedy mind, that Nabalian mind frame. The Most High hear that, man. Because you're one-dimensional. All you care about is you. You don't care about nobody else. Read on. That's why we can't just read in 1 Samuel 25. We just can't read past Nabal. It's too many different attributes that we have to examine that made this man who he was. What was in this man? Read on.
But blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it.
He said, man, even if he would have sold it to David, he said he could have got blessed. Just give him a little charity. He could have got blessed.
You could have him do a little more later. Hey, bro, I got you.
Hey, man, hold post for 2 more weeks. He could have had David say, listen, man, y'all hold post for me for the rest of this year. I'll pay a little something off the top.
Little contract.
Yep. Just hold post for me. Give you some goat milk. Let's set up the goat milk. Let's set up some fur coats, some cashmere wool. We're going to set up some shoes. We're going to set something up for you. He could have did anything. Read on.
Come. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor.
He said, he that what?
Seeketh good procureth favor.
He said, he that diligently seeketh good procureth favor. That means that if I at least try to make an effort to do some good, the Most High will do what?
Favor.
No, he said he'll procure favor. That means he'll take care of me. If I make an attempt, Nabal didn't even make an attempt. He made no attempt whatsoever to even assist David.
He didn't even think about it, bro.
Not at all. Not even just like, man, let me do something for the man. He did what? He held post all night, guarding my sheep. What can we do for him? Let me sit down and think about what can we do for David. What can I give David in exchange for his service, man?
Make it square, bro.
Yeah, let's square it up. Let's make something. Give the man something. Give the man some corn. Yes, sir.
I remember you said on the first class that even if he would give David something, it would be counted as wicked anyway.
Yeah, because
because the Most High won't accept.
No, you know why? Because he said he gave with a wicked mind, and that's what made even his offering an abomination. They said he that giveth with a wicked in mind is an abomination, because the mind frame that he. But Nabal didn't even consider. He didn't even think, what can I give him? You can't think of anything to share or to offer.
I have nothing to give.
Nothing to give. That's why it says, he that diligently seeketh good procureth favor. At least I made an effort to try to do some good. This man made no effort. Read? I just said, no, I ain't doing it. Read?
He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him.
And there's that trap again. I don't want to give. I don't want to offer. No problem. The Most High reverse your status. You went from have to the have-nots.
In a blink.
In just a minute. The Most High does that. Read on.
God, he that trusteth in his riches
He said,
shall fall.
he that does what?
Trusteth in his riches shall fall.
And this is where Nabal was thinking. This is how you know that Nabal is really empty and void of the Most High. Because Nabal equates his riches as his stability, not as his confidence, not the Most High. If a man is righteous, he'll know, if the Most High gave me these 1,000 sheep, if I share a little bit, the Most High who gave it to me can give me back another 1,000. He can give me back 2,000. But the wrong mentality is, I can't lose what I have. Because if I lose what I have, I'll have nothing.
For me.
For me. Because there's no faith in the Father. And this is why men don't share. This is why men don't give. This is why men are stingy and greedy. Women too. Because I don't got enough. You want me to use my food stamps? When you look at Elijah and that woman that had the one bit of a meal, she said, man, I only got enough, these 2 sticks. I got a little meal and I got a little oil and I got these little 2 sticks. And I'm finna make this for me and my son and we're gonna die. And what did Elijah say? Make this for me first. You know what he said, woman? Have some what?
Faith.
Have some faith. And your meal, your crucible oil and your meal is never gonna run out. Which it never did. But you know what? A lot of sisters don't got that faith. You want to use my food stamps? First of all, it was free. First of all, you didn't work for the food stamps.
It was the mercy of God that he put in the hand of the enemy to give us his crumbs.
But I can't use that because I ain't going to have enough for me. You know what it takes to serve the Most High? A little bit of faith.
That's true.
And some people don't have it. And when they're void of faith, they're horrible givers. Because they feel like if I give, I'll be out. You know why? Because you don't believe in the Most High anyway.
That's true.
Read on.
He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch.
But the givers are the ones that keep on, the Most High keep blessing, man. The Most High keep making sure that they're watered. Because they don't have fear that I won't be taken. There's no fear in giving. There's no fear in charity. Not like Nabal. Read on.
Verse 29. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind.
He said, he that troubleth his own house shall inherit what?
The wind.
The Most High is explaining how your house will be destroyed. Because when it comes to your belongings, your house, what you possess, your possessions, you are stingy. You are greedy with your possessions. Therefore, the Most High said, I will take it from you and crumble it and put it in the wind. Because you don't want to give. Read on.
Wow.
God.
Crazy, bro.
And the fool
I gotta put this.
shall be servant to the wise of heart.
He said the fool. It said the what?
And the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart.
It says, and the fool shall be servant to the what?
Wise of heart.
So the Most High also reverse the roles.
Yeah.
The ones that got the wrong mind, even if they have wealth and riches, they're going to reverse their role. And they're going to be subject to the ones that's what?
Wise of heart.
Go ahead.
The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise.
So there's something that we got to be able to see real quick. Go back to 1 Samuel chapter 25. Hold where you at, my Waller. I want you to read. I want you to I want you to read verse 29 again. But first, I want you to read 1 Samuel chapter 25. And I want you to get Yahweh up. If you can get read verse 29.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 29.
Read that.
Yet a man is risen to pursue thee.
I want y'all to really grab this point right quick. Pay attention to this point. Start at verse 28.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 28. I pray thee.
This is Abigail begging David not to slay Nabal. She said, I pray thee, read.
Forgive the trespass of thine handmaid.
She put the blame on who?
Herself.
She put the blame on herself. She said, you know what? It's my fault. Even though it was her husband's fault. She took the blame for it. Read on.
For the Lord, or the Most High, will certainly make my Lord a sure house.
And she was talking to who? David. She said, my Lord, which means who she believes in, which is the Most High, is going to make David a sure what?
House.
She has confidence in the Most High that the Most High will bless David. Read.
Because my Lord fighteth the battles of the Most High.
It says, because you, David, fight the battles of who?
The Most High.
Because you fight the battles of the Most High. She understands that there's a benefit to the man that fights the battles of the Most High. She knows the difference. Remember, she was a woman of good understanding. Yes, sir.
Did you call David her Lord?
Yes. Yes, we're going to get to that later on. We're going. No, it's not out of pocket. It's not out of pocket. And we're going to explain. That's why I said we'll explain that later. But I want to get this point first. Read. Good observation, though. Read.
It says, and evil hath not been found in thee all thy days.
He says, and evil hath not been found in thee all thy days. So she knows what kind of man David is. Now read verse 29.
Verse 29. Yet a man is risen to pursue thee.
He says, but yet a man is risen to pursue thee. Read.
And to seek thy soul. But the soul of my Lord shall be.
And she knew about Saul. She knew that she knew that David was on the run from Saul. She knew that.
Saul was tripping.
She knew Saul was tripping, and that's why David was in the wilderness. She knew his condition. Read.
But the soul of my Lord shall be bound in the bundle of life.
She said, but you're going to be bound in the bundle of life. Read on.
With the Most High, thy power, thy God.
Read.
And the souls of thine enemies.
And this is the point I want you to understand. And this is what you got to ask yourself. You got to ask yourself, based on her speech, what she understands. Remember, in verse 3, it says Abigail is a woman of understanding.
Yeah.
Right. So, listen to the speech of this woman of understanding. She says what?
It says, and the souls of thine enemies.
It says, and the souls of thine enemies. Read.
Them shall he sling out.
He said, them shall he sling out. Go ahead.
As out of the middle of a sling.
He says she knows that the Most High puts certain men in the middle of a sling. Now, we bought some slingshots the other day. You know what I'm saying? Just the irony of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you pull a sling back, you know, you gotta pinch the little leather strap, put whatever you're throwing in the middle, and just pull it back and let it go. Yes, sir. We'll talk about that in a minute. For toys' sake, for kids' sake, but for aim. You know what I'm saying? For, not that we slinging that like. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about it in a minute. But I want you to understand something about what she understands. What does she understand about the wicked?
It says, and the souls of thine enemies shall he sling out, as out the middle of a sling.
Now go back to where you was at, Mount Waller, in Proverbs chapter 11 verse 29. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 11 verse 29 reads, He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind.
The Bible says that he that troubleth his own house shall inherit what?
The wind.
So Abigail understands something. What does Abigail understand? That Nabal's time is what? It's temporary. This is why she didn't trip out or defect from Nabal or become disrespectful even under the authority of a foolish man, because of what she understood. She understood that it's only a matter of time, because what she understands as a woman, of why she was able to stay in order as a wife, is that the wicked's time is only temporary. And she also understands that there is a separation of the righteous and the wicked. And she knew this. And she knew this. This is how she was able to stay in order. Because she knew, although I'm under the authority of a foolish man, it's only for a short what? It's only for a short time. It's not permanent and it's not forever. This is how people that have virtue stay in order under the authority of those that are oppressive. They know that my position under the authority of an oppressive soul is only temporary. It's not permanent. She understood this. There's no way you can say that she didn't understand this. Why would she say that the Most High will put the wicked in the middle of a sling and sling them out? She knew the Most High separates the wicked from the righteous. She said it out of her own mouth. Now read verse 30. Now when you read verse 30, it makes a lot more sense when you read verse 30 in 1 Samuel 25.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 30.
And it shall come to pass, when the Most High shall have done to my Lord according to all the good that he hath spoken concerning me.
Now she's talking in the future. She said, and it shall come to pass, when the Most High has done everything good that he said he was going to do for you.
No, he's already knows what's going to happen.
How does she know this? Read.
It says, and shall have appointed thee ruler over Israel.
And she knows that David is going to be appointed what?
Ruler over Israel.
Because she understands something that keeps her in order with her husband, even though this man is Nabal. She understands that this man's position and time is only temporary.
She was well nurtured in the scriptures.
She understood the difference between how the Most High deals with the righteous and how the Most High deals with the wicked. And she knew how to play her role and stay in her lane. That's how she's able to speak to the future. She's speaking to the future. And the time will come, and it shall come to pass, when my Lord will bless thee according to everything he's promised you. Read on.
Verse 31. It says, that this shall be no grief unto thee, nor offense of heart unto my Lord, either that thou hast shed blood causeless, or that my Lord hath avenged himself. But when the Most High shall have dealt with my Lord,
dealt well,
Slakia, with my Lord, then remember thine handmaid.
Then remember what?
Thine handmaid.
What is she saying, man? What is she saying? She's putting a bid in, man. She's putting her bid in the situation. How was she putting her bid in? She's still a married woman. But how is she slipping the bid in the conversation? Say it again. She knows, because she knows she knows how the Most High separates righteousness and wickedness, and that she doesn't have to move a muscle. This is how a wife should be behaving regardless of the oppressiveness of a husband, or vice versa. This is how a husband should be under the oppressiveness of a wife. Sometimes the wife's on the balls.
Yeah.
Nabalesses.
Nabalia.
You know what I'm saying? That's a Hebrew name. Don't ever get that Hebrew name.
I have a name for her.
Yeah, she got a name, brother. Nabalia.
Wow, that's hilarious.
What does it mean, brother? So this is how you know she understands righteousness, and she understands wickedness and the result of either. She knows the eventual end, that the wicked their position, even in authority, is only temporary. That's why she slid in to David, don't forget about me. Because she knew her time was only temporary, being under that oppressive nature of that man.
Yeah, off the walls. Though.
She knew it. She knew it.
He must have some crazy conduct for he says like that. He must have been conducting himself wild.
He was churlish and evil in all his doings. Though.
Man, he was that the way with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just that way with strangers. That dude was that way with everybody. That was his nature.
With the ball,
All she was doing was buying time.
Gotta tolerate the boss.
Yep. That's how you know it said when she was a good understanding, she understood. I'm just waiting this out because the Most High gonna intervene anyway. And I already see what the Most High is doing. So don't forget about me. Oh man. But the scriptures say the patient of the godly shall not be what? Frustrated. That's why she wasn't frustrated. That's why she was a woman that could stay in order. Because she was patient. And she knew the eventual end of that oppressive nature of Nabal. It wasn't forever. She had a lot of faith. Now, let's go back to 1 Samuel. And let's get
Just finished 31.
31. Let's go back. Let's go to Job chapter 20, verse 4, just to get on this point a little bit more of how she was able to understand this. 20 and verse 4 in the book of Job. How did Abigail know that David was coming up and the ball was going down? How did she know this? We got to elaborate on this point a little bit. Read.
Job chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this?
Read it properly.
Job chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old?
He said, don't you know this of old? This is old, man. This ain't nothing new. What Abigail knew of her husband Nabal was nothing new. Everybody should know this. What she knew was common knowledge, which was what? He said, knoweth not this of old. Read.
Since man was placed upon earth.
Since man was on the earth. Read.
Verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked.
That the triumphing of the wicked
is short.
Is what?
Is short.
She knew she had what kind of man? And he was only going to be in charge for how long? He said this is known of old. That's why I shouldn't be restless or stressed if I have an oppressive spirit above me. You know why? Because we can say as men, we've seen oppressive spirits as leaders. And you know what? There was still no reason or justification to get out of order. And when you're put in a position where you got to be under that type of oppressive nature, all you got to do is just wait, be patient. Because it's always been known that the triumphing of the wicked is what? It's short, man. She knew that. You mean to tell me Abigail didn't know that? Why do you think she was sliding the bit in? Remember me, my Lord. Using words like that. Yes, it is enticing. Because a woman got that power if she chooses to use it. They don't understand the power of it. But read on.
Verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
And the joy of the hypocrite is but for what?
A moment.
It's but for a moment. It don't last long. Even if somebody's hypocritical in their nature, it doesn't last long.
But he had a good time though.
He had a good. Nabal had a good run.
He had a blast, huh?
He had a good run. And we're gonna read how much fun he was having later on. He was having a blast.
Yeah.
He was going in, literally. So he said, but that hypocritical nature, even if you're under the authority of a hypocrite, guess what? It's not forever. This is known of old. This is why you shouldn't be frustrated if you're in a position where you don't have control. And you're in a position where you don't have power. Or you're in a position where you have to take orders from somebody that doesn't make any damn sense.
Right.
Because that's for both men and women. Women aren't just in that position. We as men are in that position as well, many times over. Well, we're in a position under men that don't make no damn sense. They make bad decisions. They're selfish, insensitive decisions.
Can I pull script with you?
God.
Proverbs 28, verse 16. Proverbs 28 and 16. Because Shamshawan just said, suffering and being oppressed by spirits that don't make any sense, that make bad decisions. Let's read.
Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 16. The prince that wanteth understanding.
Prince is a person that is in authority. A person in power. A person in power that wants what?
Understanding.
He wants understanding because he lacks understanding. A person in authority should first have understanding. So the prince that wants or lacks what? Understanding, read.
Is also a great oppressor.
What comes with that lack of understanding, that lack of biblical foundation, and that lack of following and applying counsel, and that lack of equity towards people, and ability to treat men and communicate with men and entertain people and deal with the poor, what comes with that lack of understanding is he will also be a what?
Great oppressor.
A small oppressor?
A great oppressor.
A light oppressor.
A great oppressor.
An off and on oppressor.
A great oppressor.
The scripture says this person will be a great, large, or extreme what?
Oppressor.
Oppressor, bro.
Now, last week we went over 4 virtues that the Most High said make a comely soul. He said number 1 was what? Do we remember? Yes, he said, in these lie the comeliness of the soul. We read it out of the Josephus. He said it was what? It was last week. He said it was 4 things. He says wherein lies the comeliness of the soul, the attractiveness of the soul. He said it was what? Piety. What else? It was only 4. Said it last week. There's only 4 things that we should be focusing on. It's only 4 of them that's major that we read about that he identified as they make an attractive soul. Obedience. Fortitude. Righteousness. Yep, righteousness was another one. That righteousness means purity of heart, but it also means the equity between man and man. Meaning, I know how to treat man appropriately. I know how. Now, Daliad's bringing out right here about the prince that's wanting or lacking these abilities shall be a great oppressor, because they don't know how to do what? They don't have righteousness. They don't have justice and equity and knowing what's fair between man and man. I don't know how to treat my fellow human, whether that's next to me, above, or below me. I don't know how to treat people. That's why the Most High said he loves these virtues. Somebody that's righteous. They know what's fair between man and man. They know how to treat each other. That's why it's critical. So, whether if I'm in a prince in a position of power, I still don't know how to treat people, the Most High going to bring me down anyway. And if I have something that I don't know how to treat people, the Most High is going to take it away from me. Because I don't know how to deal with man. I don't know what's fair between man and man. Whether I'm in a position of authority or if I'm not in a position of authority. I'm going to still treat people like crap. Read on in Job. You got more?
No, that's it.
Read on in Job.
That's part of it. It's light.
Yeah, go ahead.
Read on.
Come.
Let's get back to Job after this.
Come. The prince that wanteth understanding is also a great oppressor.
Read on.
But he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days.
Prolong his days means live a long life. A person that hates covetousness. What is covetousness? The desire to attain property that belongs to other people and a lust for physical items around him.
Yep.
Right? So a person that hates that mentality or hates that what? Nabalian mindset. A person that hates that Nabalian mindset shall prolong their days or extend their life. But a person that entertains that Nabalian mindset shall what? Shall not prolong or shorten their life. Like who? Like the rich man.
Like the rich man.
There's lots of people and lots of experiences in the scriptures that people that have that covetous heart, covetous mindset, and can't treat people properly, the Most High cuts them off.
He cut the time short. He said this has always been known of old. It's historically known in the Bible that the Most High gives these oppressors short reigns. And the hypocrite. He gives them a short time. That's why Abigail didn't have really nothing to worry about. Because she already knew the nature of this man wasn't going to last long. That's why she was able to speak to David in the future. And still not be guilty. And still stay in order. Finish that in Job?
Go ahead, Job.
Job 20.
Who had Job chapter 20?
Job 20 and what?
5.
Did you have it?
God, Job 20 verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
It's but for what?
A moment.
It's only for a short time. Read on. Abigail knew this. Read on.
Though his excellency mount
No, you got to say it correctly. Though his excellency. You got to open your mouth.
Though his excellency mount up to
It
the
says,
heavens.
though his excellency mounts up to the heavens, meaning though this man's position is exalted on high, regardless of how high a man gets, if a man is a hypocrite and wicked, the Most High will strip him from that position. It doesn't matter how high he gets. You never get too high for the Most High to not bring you down if you're out the spirit. Read.
God. And his head reached unto the clouds.
It said this man's head could be where? In the clouds, man. What does that mean to say, man, your head is in the clouds?
Love.
You're high-minded, arrogant, conceited, untouchable, unreasonable. Nobody can tell you anything. Nobody can check you. Condescending. So a man whose head is in the clouds, meaning I'm above having to worry about how I treat you. I can treat you however I want. Because that's the way Nabal was to David. Who is David? Where was this man's mind at? You got to be in the clouds to say, who is David? You don't know who David is? You got to be up there in the mind. You got to have a balloon head. To even say, who is David?
Big-headed.
As if you've done half of what this man has done in his position. That's why he said, though his excellency be on high, and his head be in the clouds. Read on.
God, verse 7. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
The Most High said he going to perish forever like his own what?
His own dung.
Wow. Man, your dung is your what? Your excrement. Their excrement. That's what comes out the bottom of your rear. The Most High said, I will equivalent that man to his own excrement.
And what's crazy about excrement, right, is that I'm not gonna go there.
It's crazy.
What's crazy about it is a lot of times it gets stuck inside people's stomachs, and when it does, it affects people's moods. When people have hardened elements in their stomach that they can't release, it also is a sign of a person that's negative. Like people get quote unquote constipated. They say over time when you don't eat properly, you have all this dried up food in your stomach that just keeps putrefying and putrefying and putrefying. It affects the personality, how you interact with people. People say the old term is you're full of ish, but they say he's the person needs to release his bowels.
Yeah, you know what? But there's an association from bad bowels and bad tempers. All you gotta do is look up the four humors, and it gives you the old Greco-Roman philosophy, how the temperament is associated with what's going on in somebody's stomach, called color, and somebody's agitation, and somebody's illness. It manifests itself inwardly. But the Most High said, listen, regardless of how high this person is, the Most High said, I'll still bring them down and make them dissolve like their own crap. So in the end, you know what? To inflate someone's arrogance, or for somebody to walk around thinking that they're above correction and I don't have to be responsible for how I treat people, they are truly detached from the Father, from recognizing who's in charge. Sometimes position does that. Sometimes, a lot of times, money does that.
Yeah.
Money puts people's head on high.
Yeah.
Position, authority. You give them a little control, and people have a little control, and they're power tripping, they're power hungry, and they become insensitive to the needs of the people around them. Once I get in charge, okay, you gotta listen to me. You gotta listen to me. I run this show. Well, you know what? The Most High said, regardless, that person is not going to last long in that position. So you know what? Abigail knew this because she was a woman of good understanding. We should all know this too. We should all lay this to heart, that regardless of what other people may do in an oppressive state, that doesn't control how I behave, because I know the eventual position of that individual that's oppressive. I know how the Most High feels about that oppressive nature. I understand how the Most High is going to deal with that individual. Read on.
They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
Where did the ball go?
Yeah, where's
that brother?
I just came from a long journey, man.
Where's the ball?
I came for a loan.
Where's that brother that y'all used to have with y'all?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever happens.
Yeah. Yeah, he did all the time.
What happened to that brother? What happened to that sister? Yeah, so but the Most High said, well, that person don't disappear.
Wow.
Read.
He shall fly away as a dream.
He said he shall fly away as a what?
As a dream.
As a dream, bro.
That's crazy.
It's like, damn, so
Like, he wasn't even here.
You know, Abigail understood. One day she's gonna wake up and the ball was a what? A bad dream. Wow. She was married to a bad dream.
Wow.
It's gonna perish.
Yeah, man. Woo, I'm with David, man. I thought I was with a guy named the ball. Sometimes she wake up looking at the bed next to her. Oh, it's David. Oh, woo. Woo. I had a flashback.
A bad dream.
Yeah. Had a flashback.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how the Most High do it. He said, "Nah, man, that's temporary." He's showing you the temporary nature, the short position of that oppressive Nabal mind frame. We say Nabalian as a joke.
Yeah.
We made it up. But that mind frame lives in 2023. That mind frame is alive. Read on.
Now, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
Read.
The eye also which saw him shall see. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more. Neither shall his place any more behold him. So
it said he's not going to be in his position anymore. The Most High removes these men from their positions. Set it up another in his place, like he told Saul. He said, "I'm gonna bring up one better than you." You know what the Most High understands? That he doesn't tolerate that nature for a long period of time, even though they may be wealthy. Because sometimes the wealth is a setup. Sometimes the wealth is given just to bring out the nature that was already in them anyway. That's what Mike Tyson said.
Yeah. He was right about that 100%.
Yeah. Sometimes that's a real test. Is when you have everything you want. And then the Most High expose your nature. The Most High give you something to see how you act when you have it. And then just so you can act out of pocket, he take it from you. There's a lot to learn about Nabal. But now you can see this man's mind frame. You can see all these elements in this man. Let's go back to 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 11.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 11.
It says, shall I then take...
No, let's just jump down. We're going to move up forward just a little bit. Let's go to, keep reading on down to 12.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 12. So David's young men turned their way and went again, and came and told...
No, hold on, man. I can't go yet. One more time. 25:11. One more time.
Okay. 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 11.
Not yet. We got to keep driving this point. Go ahead.
Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers, and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be?
So let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 14. We can't pass this up because this is the ball's words, man. We got to dissect this man's words. We got to go in on this mind frame. Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Who got it? Chapter 11, verse 14.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord.
He said all this come from the Lord. He said prosperity, adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come from who?
Come of the Lord.
But Nabal is still using the words what? I, my, me. These are mine. But he's completely oblivious of the Father. The Father doesn't even come to his mind. Read.
Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Lord.
Go ahead.
Love and the way of good works are from him.
He says love and the way of good works are from who?
From the Most High.
So only a man that's conscious of the Most High can do what? Can show what? Love. And that can show good works. Only a man that's conscious of the Most High. When you have a man that's not conscious or a woman that's not conscious of the Most High, don't be surprised when they can't show you no love. Don't be surprised when they don't do good works. Because they don't have a consciousness of who? The Father. Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. I can't believe she don't love me. Well, she don't fear the Lord. She don't have a good understanding. She don't possess any virtues. Why are you so shocked that this person can't show you no love? Same with a man. Read on.
God. Ecclesiastes 11, verse 16. Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners.
It says, error and darkness had their beginning together with who?
Sinners.
So sinners make a lot of errors, and they make a lot of mistakes, and they do a lot of things that are ignorance. Darkness represents ignorance. Without sight, without light. They're ignorant. They make a lot of mistakes. Read.
And evil shall wax.
It said had their beginning together with sinners. So Abigail understood what kind of man she had. This man was in error, and this man was in darkness. That's why she told David, he is as his name is. As his name is, so is he.
That's crazy.
Read.
And evil wax old with them that glory therein.
Go ahead.
The gift of the Lord remaineth with the godly.
It says the gift of the Lord remaineth with who?
The godly.
Who keeps their gifts?
The godly.
Who loses their gifts?
Evil.
Who gifts inherit the wind?
Evil.
The evil. Whose gifts are temporary?
The evil.
Read on.
And his favor bringeth prosperity forever.
And the Most High's favor brings prosperity forever. Read on.
There is that waxeth rich by his weariness.
It says there is some that they don't have virtue, but they get rich by what?
By their weariness.
By their weariness. Weariness. Yes, weariness. By their labor, their toilsome labor. They work hard as hell to get rich, but they bypass virtues. But they work hard as hell to get wealthy. They say, man, I worked hard as hell to get where I'm at today. But they lack virtue. He said there is some that get wealthy by weariness and what?
And pinching.
And pinching. That pinching means to be covetous, a pilfer, a fitcher. Read.
And this is the portion of his reward.
It said, and you know what? And that's all they got after all their labor is some crumbs.
Was it worth it?
And that's what you got to ask yourself.
Yeah.
I worked hard as hell to get where I am, to be financially comfortable, but I'm empty and void of these other virtues. But I only got there because I pinched, and I was a pilfer. I was pinching. I was covetous. I was greedy of gain. So you got there by compromising what? Virtues and righteousness. But you still got up though. But you're still empty though.
You know, even look at the time spent to acquire those riches. You have a lot of people in retirement age that work their entire life to get this paycheck, and they realize I can't do anything with it.
You know,
I'm too old.
it's only short lived.
Yeah.
There's no real benefit from it. There's no real benefit. I've acquired all this wealth and stability, and I only got like 10 years left.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna spend it all.
What's happening?
What you gonna do with it? You did it all for what?
Somebody else.
For somebody else. That's the vanity of it.
That's
Proverbs
biblical.
19 and
You
17.
don't give eventually.
Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 17. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Most High.
It said what?
He that hath pity upon the poor.
All David asked the ball for is some what? Some pity, man. Just give me some pity, bro. Have pity on me. Have pity on my condition and my men's condition. Pity is what? To feel pain or grief for one in distress. What couldn't the ball feel?
Nobody else.
Yeah, man, you know, I worked hard to get here. You need to work hard too. Do what I did.
He could have.
No empathy, bro. I couldn't feel for that other individual. I can't feel pain or feel bad because you as my brother or sister are in any kind of pain or hurt or in distress. I don't feel for you. That means I'm completely insensitive to your situation. You couldn't give David nothing. He came out of a wilderness. You knew he was on the run. You called him a vagabond. A runaway slave. Yes, sir.
For pity. Quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pity. Compassion accompanied with some act of charity or benevolence, and not simply a fellow feeling of distress.
He said, man, I got to do something about it. Meaning it's a certain pity that comes with action. It's not just, hey, man, I feel bad for you, man. Feel bad, man. My condolences, man, to hear about your situation. Keep your head up. It's not just that. He said it's a pity associated with an objective that I got to do something about it, man. I'm obligated to do something. I got to intervene in your situation. Can I produce some good to you from you being in that kind of distress? I got to do something. I just can't watch you suffer and just do nothing at all. If we look at the definition that you just mentioned right there of what real pity is, it's great. All right? It's great. 1 Timothy 6 and 6.
First Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6. Whatever we read.
Read that.
But godliness,
And we read what godliness is one of those virtues that is great for a woman to have. And great for a woman to have. Godliness with what?
with contentment, is great gain.
He said godliness with contentment is great gain. Meaning, you know what? As long as I got the Most High, I'm going to still treat people right. Whether I can give it or not, I'm going to still be fair. Where I'm in the position of where I want to be or not, I'm going to still give people pity. I'm going to still show my people love. I'm going to still have compassion on my people, regardless of where I am. I'm not going to be a pilfer. I'm not going to be pinching. I'm not going to pinch my people. I'm not just going to be covetous and greedy of gain. I'm not going to be like this to my people. As long as I can be taken care of, as long as I got clothes, as long as I got food, as long as I got shelter, I'm cool. And if somebody need it, I got it. I'm in a good space. I'm not have to be greedy that I'm going to lose, man.
It's about me.
It's about me. I'm afraid to give because I'm going to lose. He said godliness with contentment is what?
Great.
Is great gain.
It's great gain. Read on.
For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain.
And he said, it is certain. It is guaranteed. You came in this world naked. with some blood and amniotic fluid all over your body. Sometimes with some jaundice. Sometimes you got a little pee on you because you peed in the sack, or you didn't pooped in the sack. Sometimes you got that on you too. He said, but you came in this world that way, naked. He said, it is certain that what?
And it is certain we can carry nothing out.
And it is guaranteed that you will leave with nothing, just the way you came in. A lot of guys want to be buried in their motorcycles. They want to be buried in their hoopties. Bury me in my clothes, in my outfit. Bury me with my money. Put my money in my casket so I can spend it in the next life.
Put my money in the grave.
Put my money in the grave.
Yeah.
Sure. That's what Drake said, right?
Yeah.
I just thought about that when you said that.
Jesus said it too.
Well, you know, a lot of people say it. But guess what? That money's not going there nowhere. That money's breaking down right next to their body. He said, it is certain that you brought nothing in this world and you will take nothing out with you. Why not give it away? Why not share it? Why not let it do some good to those people around you? But not to Nabal. Read on.
Verse 8. And having food and raiment.
It said, I should be content having what?
Food and raiment.
It said, I should be content having food and raiment. Read on.
Let us be therewith content.
It says, let us therewith be what?
Content.
So we talked about this last week. If I got food, if the Most High gave me a meal, and the Most High gave me some clothes, raiment is clothes of protection, an outer layer. The Most High gave me some clothing. I got clothes on my back and I got food in my stomach. He said, let us be content with food or raiment, right? So, last week we went over Ecclesiastes chapter 6, right? Read verse 1 real quick. Ecclesiastes, I'm sorry, not Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiastes in the Bible. 6 and 1. I just want to bring this back up from last week. Read that real quick.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 1 reads, there is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and it is common among men, a man to whom the Most High have given riches, wealth, and honor.
The Most High gave a man riches, wealth, and honor. Go ahead.
So that he wanteth nothing.
You know what? Nabal didn't actually need anything. The Most High took care of all of his needs. All the Most High brought David into his life for was to reveal whether he was going to have pity or not.
Set him up.
It's horrible. You didn't actually need anything. You wasn't actually Nabal was lacking nothing. The Most High brought that poverty, that man stricken with poverty on the run, just to determine the nature of Nabal and reveal the nature of Nabal. What are you going to do when this man that had need come to you with nothing, but you have everything that this man is lacking? Read on.
Come. And it is common among men, a man to whom the Most High have given riches, wealth, and honor, so that he want of nothing, for his soul of all that he desired.
But the Most High does what?
Yet the Most High giveth him not power to eat thereof.
You know why? Because the Most High take a man away before he's able to enjoy it. Why is that? Read on.
But a stranger eateth it. This is vanity. And it is an evil disease.
You know what makes it evil? Is because my priority was not right. So the Most High took it from me. You know why? Because instead of being a cheerful giver, like he says, a liberal soul shall be made fat. Instead of me having these resources and spreading these resources around, I chose to harbor these resources and deny people corn. And I bring a curse upon myself. So with all these things that the Most High gives me, I have no joy in my heart. Therefore, I hold it back. And so the Most High has to take it from me and let somebody else enjoy it. Because I didn't appreciate it. I was unthankful. You know what? Why I'm unthankful? Because a covetous mind is never satisfied. Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering.
It says, better it is for the sight of the eyes, meaning it's better to look at what you have in front of you. What you have in front of you, the Most High gave you a house.
Yep.
He gave you a place to stay. He gave you a roof. He gave you a mattress.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you a bed. He gave you some shoes. He gave you some clothes. He gave you a vehicle, if he gave it to you. Instead of being thankful for what the Most High has given me, a covetous man is never satisfied. His mind is where? Read on.
Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire.
Than the wandering of the what?
Desire.
Instead of being thankful for what I do have, my mind is always occupied on what?
Wonder
Next.
of the desire.
More than you have.
That what I don't have and what I want that I don't possess as of yet. That's where the majority of our minds be at. And this makes us, this disconnects us from the Father. I'm never thankful, conscious that, man, I appreciate the Most High, man, for what He's given me already, and I don't need nothing else. That keeps me in a good spiritual space. You know what takes men out of, you know what we read from the beginning, what choked Christ out of men? The cares of this life.
Yeah.
Riches, the deceitfulness of richness, and the desire of want of other things.
Other than him.
Other than Christ. These things choke Christ out of a man. Because my mind is on what I don't have, but that I want, that the Most High hasn't given me. So you know what? Because I don't have it yet, I look at the Most High in a bad light. And because I don't have joy in what I do have, I treat people like crap.
I'm offended without reason.
And that's what makes it dangerous.
Point this time.
Yeah. How many? You on one verse?
It's a good one, but you got
It take a lot of explaining.
not a whole lot of explaining. It's self-explanatory.
Okay, go ahead. If it's quick, yeah.
Ecclesiasticus 10 in verse 21. This is right on point what you were saying. Ecclesiastes 10. We'll go down. We'll jump around if we have to. Read that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Ecclesiastes 10 and what?
21.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 21. It says, the fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority.
And just to go on with Sean Shawan's point, what Nabal didn't realize is you lack fear. Because you lack fear, your dwellings around you are falling apart. It says before you get authority, before you look for riches and success and stability, you need to acquire the fear of the Lord. Read on.
But roughness and pride.
Because if you don't let go of those carnal elements, that roughness, that churlish, negative nature, that bad mouth, the abrasive mouth, and that pride, can't be told anything, can't extend to anybody else, because your mind is too focused on acquiring, this is what happens.
But roughness and pride is the losing thereof.
And going back to Sean Shawan's point, you're setting yourself up. The Most High is willing to give it to you. But the problem is if you get it before you get before you get the fear of the Lord, and before you get rid of these carnal elements, you're going to lose everything that you acquired in the first place. Keep reading.
Whether he be rich, noble, or poor, their glory is in the fear of the Most High.
It doesn't matter if you're rich or noble, or if you're poor. What the Most High is looking at is, do you have fear? That's the first element before you start any spiritual development. Read on.
It is not meet to despise the poor man that hath understanding.
But this was the greater offense. Not only were you despising a poor man, but you despised a poor man that had understanding. You despised David, who had a mind of the Most High's own heart. He didn't realize the magnitude behind what he was doing, his offense. Yep. This man is a prophet of the Most High. This man was a future king. But because of your pride and because of your roughness, you're about to destroy your whole household. You're about to rip all your riches that you've been developing. Read on.
Neither is it convenient to magnify a sinful man.
It says, and just like it says, it is not meet, meaning it's not beneficial to despise a poor man has understanding. It's also not beneficial to magnify a sinful man. Because the sinful man, although he has the riches, although he looks like he's playing the part of a successful man, that person isn't someone to idolize.
Hold on, you got to slow it down right there. Read that part again.
Verse 23.
Say it again. Yes, sir.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
It is not meet to despise the poor man that hath understanding.
It says it's not beneficial to despise, to ignore the poor man, the one in need.
But why would somebody despise a poor man? I got to bring this up. Never let you have it one more time. Why would somebody despise the poor man? Ecclesiastes chapter 40, and read verse 25. Through 24 and 25.
Ecclesiastes chapter 40, verse 24. Brother and help are against time of trouble, but alms shall deliver more than them both.
I had an opportunity to give to this man. I didn't have to despise the poor man, because that was an opportunity for me to give what? Alms. But I didn't see the benefit of alms.
Man.
I don't see the benefit of charity. It says, but alms shall deliver what?
Deliver from debt.
It says shall deliver from debt from them both. So I'm too busy. I don't see the value in spiritual things such as alms, because I look at what? Read on.
Gold and silver make the foot stand sure.
Because I look at what? Gold and silver as my stability. That to make your foot stand, meaning that's your stability.
I stand on that.
I don't stand on alms and charity. What was that? That's Ecclesiastes 40 and 25. He said, or 24, 25. He said, gold and silver do what?
Gold and silver make the foot stand sure.
I trust in gold and silver. That's why I can despise a poor man. Because I don't look at the poor man being an opportunity for me to give alms. Man, I'm confident in my gold and silver. That's what keeps me strong. Not those alms.
You gotta add on to that.
Read.
But counsel is esteemed above them both.
Read on.
Riches and strength lift up the heart.
It said, but when somebody has wealth and they have riches and they're comfortable, it lifts up what?
The heart.
And it makes me despise who? The poor.
Yeah.
My money makes me despise the poor. Because riches separate you in position and in class from your people.
Yep.
You don't look at that opportunity as an opportunity to give alms, which is better than that. But I enjoy the fact that I have something that makes me distinguished from you. My money is greater than yours. So that I'm different. So that distinguishes me. It separates us. You're not in my class. You're not on my level. So I don't gotta respect you. You're not deserving of my respect. Read.
Come. But the fear of the Lord is above them both.
It said, riches and strength lift up the heart. But what?
But the fear of the Lord is above them both.
Read on.
There is no want in the fear of the Lord.
Read on.
And it needeth not to seek help.
And it don't need no help. It don't need no money. It don't need no currency. It don't need wealth. It can exist by itself. And it's strong enough by itself. It's potent enough by itself. Read on.
The fear of the Lord is a fruitful garden, and covereth him above all glory.
And it covers me above the biggest dookie rope, the biggest gold chain, the biggest herringbone chain, the biggest platinum chain, the biggest Cuban link. It says it gives me more glory than all the riches in the world. Now go back to
I gotta add on to that. I want to skip to verse 26.
No, don't skip.
No. It's going to
All
ride
right,
that
go
point.
ahead, go ahead.
I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to go back to it. But that point you made where it said, when you were saying, why wouldn't a man give alms in the first place? Go back to that. What did Nabal say? This is my cattle. This is my sheep. Why am I going to extend myself to this man? Verse 26, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 26. Be not over wise in doing thy business.
This is why I said, don't be overwise in doing thy business. When you make it about your personal gain, your personal successes, this is not a financially beneficial move right here. This is when things start falling apart.
Yeah.
This is because the alms deliver from distresses. Alms deliver from hardships. You don't realize your business is on strength. The Most High can bring it down any moment. COVID can happen part 2. It can be gone. So the alms is what keeps your business afloat. The ball didn't understand. Me sitting to this poor man that had understanding would keep my relationships going, would keep my household together, would keep my stability, keep the fun times rolling. Read on.
And boast not thyself in the time of thy distress.
Because the boasting comes in, although there's hardships, I got my gold and silver.
I'm secure.
I'm secure still. I have finance. I have a 401k. I got my cryptocurrency. I got things just in case. I got an emergency fund.
I got the Roth RIA. I got
All that.
I got you know,
Rainy day fund.
My situation will be all right.
I got some money put aside,
For rainy
Yeah.
day.
you know.
But
But I like what you're saying because I want to get back to that point that you brought up.
yeah.
Because go back to
Yeah,
where
go
you
back
was at. Yeah,
23.
you gotta go back to
Now I go back to 23.
Yeah.
Verse 23.
It says, "It is not meet to despise the poor man that hath understanding."
But ultimately, it's still not to your benefit to despise and reject that man that hath understanding. That poor man that had understanding. Because the Most High's eyes are on that poor man. He's always looking at the fatherless. Always looking at the widow. Always looking at those to take care of those that are in need. Read on.
Neither is it convenient to magnify the sinful man.
Now, why do men magnify sinful men?
Because that is
Envy.
Why do men magnify sinful men? Why would men prefer a sinful man over a poor man? Go to Psalms chapter 49, verse 18. Psalms 49 and 18. Read that.
Psalms 49, verse 18. Though while he lived, he blessed his soul.
It says, though while he lived, he was overwise in his business.
Yep.
Like we just brought out. He blessed his soul. How does the world treat men that chase after their own stability, that live for their own blessings, live after their own blessings? How does the world view these individuals? Read on.
And men will praise thee.
They said men will do what?
Man.
And men will praise thee.
Men love men
Yeah.
that are selfish.
That's a real thing, though.
Men get praise when they go for self
He got his.
in the world. See,
That's kind
that-
of like.
he's the
get his.
template of
Of
success.
success. They love that.
Men love to praise a man that got rich or die trying. They love that 50 Cent mentality. 50
Yeah.
Cent, he said, get rich or die trying. Men love that, man. Because I gotta go against the grain, and no matter who I gotta step on to get past, I'm not gonna let nobody stop me from where I want to be. Yes, sir.
Men shall be lovers of the own selves.
Love is the pleasure, loves of the Most High. But men, the world encourages selfishness. That's why the world will praise a sinful man, and they'll despise the poor man. They love men that go for self. They love the individual.
They hero.
The Cardi B's,
Oh yeah. She getting it.
the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions,
Loki, the Rick Rosses,
the Rick Rosses.
the BIGs. They love that story. The sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit, rags to riches.
He came up. He's good now.
By any means necessary.
No Most High. No reverence to the Most High. He never he never reverenced the Father.
No.
in any of that.
Nope. Read it
He
again.
do positive.
Yeah, that's what that. Yeah, and it's all good.
That's all good.
Yep.
People like that
Read.
dude.
Psalms 49 and 18. Though while he lived, he blessed his soul. And men will praise thee.
And men will what?
Praise thee.
How do you know this is true? Go to
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 13, verse 24.
Yeah.
Verse 23. Ecclesiastes in Apocrypha, chapter 13, verse 23.
It's well validates.
Yep.
Ecclesiastes chapter 13 and verse 23.
It said, men will praise thee, the one that bless his own soul, that go for self, that's selfish as hell.
So
Men love that Nabal mentality, that greedy mind. Read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 13 verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue.
Because why do when a rich man talk, everybody be quiet? It's money talk.
It's money
You know why? Because people pay to hear rich men speak at conferences.
Yeah.
When you watch this LeBron James's agent, his
that dude's name.
Rich Paul.
Yeah.
His name is Rich Paul. It's the irony of it, right?
Yeah.
Rich Paul is his name. And you look at his documentary. He was a rags to riches story that came out of Cleveland, came out of Ohio, right next to LeBron. LeBron put him on, brought him up. Fatherless kid went from selling crack to negotiating multi-billion-dollar contracts in the NBA. He's LeBron's agent and quite a few other people's agent. When you read about his documentary, he talks about being in the room with Warren Buffett. He said, I learned how to listen and not speak when I was in the room with Warren Buffett.
Wow.
Because money is talking.
That's straight reference right there.
That's respect. Men got a respect for sinful men. They'll shut their mouth when a rich man is talking. Your money can't afford you to speak. You better just listen. He said, I learned the game from being in rooms with wealthy men. He said, because that's who men respect. That's how you know it's about the world. They don't glorify the alms-giving charitable man. The world glorifies the man that goes for self. That's self-made. Read.
When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue.
They shut the hell up, and you learn to listen. When we're having $1 million conversation.
Yeah.
It's a multi-million-dollar worth of game on the table. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
That's how people look at the world. That's how our people look at the wealthy. We esteem the wrong things about people. We magnify sinful men. These men don't magnify righteousness and godliness. They magnify selfishness, and the world loves it, and we chase it. And we'll go pay a $250 price ticket to go listen to a conference for Jeff Bezos to speak.
Yeah, that's real.
We'll go spend $500 plus the hotel to go listen to this man speak. He can give me some tips on how to get where he's at. I'm trying to pay for the recipe. But you know what the real recipe is? Right there in front of you, the poor man. That man that needs. That's the recipe. You bypass the poor man that needs and go pay to let somebody teach you how to scam. Read on.
It says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith.
And they look for what? They look at what he's saying. They study his words. You know, a lot of us will study rap songs and rappers. Because I want to duplicate what he says, how he made it, how she made it. I'm trying to find a recipe. Read on.
They extol it to the clouds.
It said, and they honor this method of coming up and stability. He said they reverence it to the clouds.
It's high. They exalt that.
Yeah. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. They extol that to the clouds. They take that to the bank, bro. You too broke for me to get my attention. Read.
But if the poor man speak,
They said, but if the poor man speak, read.
they say, what fellow is this?
Who is this man?
Yeah.
Who is David? That's how you know he's talking about the ball too.
Yeah.
That's how you know he's talking about a fool. Because a poor man speak, I don't know that man. Who is this man?
He's not doing well enough.
What does he own?
To pay attention to.
What does he have?
Huh?
What do you possess? You know why? This is why people, they thought because we were mall workers,
Yep.
and are mall workers, that we're less than worthy of having a conversation with.
Yeah.
But after speaking with us, they say, man, what else do you do?
Yeah.
You got to do something than just selling fragrances.
That's all you do?
That's all you do? What else do you do? You got some potential.
Yeah.
You got potential. You got such potential.
You can't teach that.
Yeah. You got so much potential. There's got to be more to you. Because you know what they listen? You know what they're listening for? You know, we may be short in wealth, and we are, but not in true riches. Not in real wealth. Not in wealth that matters. Not true riches. True riches is thankfulness of the Most High, having a reverence for Him and His people, knowing how to deal with my people, how to treat my people fairly. He said, but the rich man, but the poor man speak, and what happens? And they say what?
They say, what fellow is this?
Man, who is this guy, man? Get out of here, man. Who is this guy? You sound broke. Yes, sir.
Same thing to Christ in Nazareth.
Yep. They did the same thing to Peter and Paul too. In Acts chapter 4. He said they perceived that they were ignorant men.
Yep.
Until they heard him speak. based on the way they was dressed. He said, man, they thought they was ignorant and unlearned men till they heard him speak. Then they say they must have been with Christ, because they heard the power that he was speaking from. That we were mistaken. They have a greater influence. Read on.
And if he stumbled, they will help to overthrow him.
And if a poor man stumble, they will what?
Overthrow him.
They will help to overthrow him.
And get off him.
What do you think Nabal was doing to David?
Wow.
He saw him in a position of need. And he said, who is this guy? Who is David? You want me to take my bread, my water, and my meat, and give it that belongs to my sheep shearers, and give it to men that I know not? Who is the son of Jesse? You know what he was doing to David in that position? Helping to overthrow David.
Yeah. I got to pull this maybe one.
Go ahead.
Go back to the Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 25. Someone else give me John 8, verse 31 and 32.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 10. Verse
Because we're still comparing and contrasting the different type of spirits. We had Nabal, who neglected the poor, especially that of understanding, who was churlish, was evil, was negative, contrary to his rib, Abigail, who had understanding. And you're going to see the dynamics in this verse right here. Read on.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 25. Unto the servant that is wise.
It says, unto the servant that is wise. Remember, we're talking about the poor man, especially the poor man that has understanding. So unto the servant that is wise, there's a certain level of care that one of understanding will heed to, unto that wise servant, unto that poor man who has understanding. Read.
Shall they that are free to do service.
Hold on, we gotta get that free. Unto the servant that is wise, give me that John 8 and verse 31, 32. Unto the servant that is wise, shall they that are free. Who are they that are free?
John chapter 8 and 31.
Time.
Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed.
So Christ said, if you continue in my word, my example, then you'll be my disciple. You'll be my student. Read on.
And you shall know the truth.
And the product of being my student is you'll be in the truth. You'll know my truth. Read.
And the truth shall make you free.
And you'll be free. Now let's go back to Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 25.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 25. Unto the servant that is wise shall they that are free.
So what was Abigail? She continued in Christ's word. She was in the book.
So although she was married under an oppressive soul, she was still what? Free.
She was still free.
She was still free.
And you look at the definition of free. This is crazy. Free means eager and ready. She was eager and ready to do what?
To do service
unto David.
Yep.
She was eager and looking for the opportunity to do service unto David.
That's why she didn't even cry for the ball. She grabbed her stuff and got up out of there.
God.
With the quickness.
God. Because she was well taught. She was understood. She read. And she understood my job is to still stay upright even if I'm in a bad situation. Even if the person I'm next to is showing a bad example.
I'm still free though.
I'm still free. God. I'm still. I'm not, a lot of people look at that as like I'm under bondage.
Yeah. Or I'm in hell.
I'm living in hell. God.
I'm in hell. You know what? Although the conditions may seem like it, you're not a slave to it. Because you have more faith than the situation.
That's all about.
Okay, that's cool. Perfect. Please ask us. 34:21.
Who's that? 31.
34.
30.
Verse 21.
Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 34 and verse 21.
Yep. Verse 21.
Come on, verse 21. The bread of the needy is their life.
So David was in a position of need. He said the bread of the. So when what the ball was playing with by saying, I don't know David. Who's David? Who's son of Jesse? What was he playing with, man? He's playing with David's life.
Yeah.
All he was asking for is a little piece of bread, man. Sometimes when you play with people's needs, you playing with their life. And that's not to be played with. Read on.
He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood.
What kind of man was Nabal?
A man of blood.
Because he held back the simple piece of bread that David could have used and his men. It just showed you what kind of man he was. He was a man of what?
A man of blood.
Go ahead.
He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him.
He said, man, you killing his men.
Wow.
You could have gave him a little something. But when I refuse to give to the people in need, I'm killing them people. I'm slaying them. And he said, he that holdeth back his corn shall be cursed. Read verse 24.
Verse 24. When one prayed,
So if I'm in a position of abundance, but I'm praying, but I've defrauded people in a position of need, and they've cursed me, read on.
and another curseth, whose voice will the Lord hear?
So is the Lord going to hear me and I'm praying in my abundance, and I've defrauded the people in need and refused to give, and they've cursed me because I didn't want to give it to them because I held back the corn? Who's the Most High going to listen to? Is he listening to me or them?
Yeah.
He's listening to the giver, not the hoarder. He's listening to the giver, not the man of greed and covetousness. What was Nabal's sickness? Look up the word Pleon, pleonexia. Look that up, 1828. Or look that up and Google it. Pleonexia is Greek. Pleonexia. Pleonexia in the Greek. We got to look at Nabal. What's this man's problem, man? What is Nabal's problem? What is his disease?
It says extreme greed for wealth or material possession.
What is pleonexia?
Extreme greed.
This man suffered from an actual medical condition,
Oh, goodness.
but it's really spiritual. He said he suffered from what?
Extreme greed for wealth or material possession.
That man had a case of pleonexia. Extreme greed or what?
For wealth or material possessions.
Go ahead.
Avarice.
Avarice,
Avarice.
which is another definition of covetous. Let's go to Psalms chapter 10, verse 1 through 4. Another brother, give me Proverbs chapter 28, verse 26. That's why I said we got to dissect Nabal, man. We just can't bypass this guy. He's got too many instances of examination that we got to take a look at. That's important and critical.
You ready?
Yep.
Psalms chapter 10 and verse 1. Why standeth thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?
Go ahead.
The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor.
It says the wicked, when he's up and he's got his confidence in his materials, he said he persecutes the who?
The poor.
Read on.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
That's why David is praying that they be taken in the devices which they have imagined. Since they're playing with people's lives and they're men of blood, then let that be a trap to their own soul. Let that be a snare to them. Read on.
Verse 3. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire.
He said the wicked does what?
Boasteth of his heart's desire.
Go ahead.
And blesseth the covetous.
He said, and he blessed the covetous. Go ahead.
Whom the Lord abhorreth.
Now the world loves the covetous. The world loves and praises and extols the greedy. When the rich speak,
Men listen.
men listen.
Not new.
They don't talk. He said, but the Most High hated what?
Who? The blessed, Salaki. And blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth.
The Most High abhorred means the Most High is disgusted. It's filthy to be covetous. To have that pleonexia, have that damn disease. Why all you think about is yourself. The Most High hate that mind frame. Read on.
Verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance.
It says the wicked through the what?
Pride of his countenance.
Through the pride of his countenance. Go ahead.
Will not seek after the Most High.
And this is how you know that Nabal didn't care about who.
Most time.
It's everything about Nabal, he made the Most High obsolete. And he was only totally concerned with his what? His possessions. He was only locked into his possessions. He had no consciousness of the Most High whatsoever. At all. He says, for they will not do what?
It says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High.
Why wouldn't Nabal seek after the Most High? Proverbs 28 and 26. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 26. It says, he that trusteth in his own heart.
Because who did Nabal trust?
In his own heart.
Did Nabal trust the Most High?
Wow.
That if I give to this man, it'll return good unto me. No. Nabal trusted in who?
Himself.
In his own heart.
He trusted in his own heart. Nabal had more trust in himself than he did of who? That's why he says this kind of man will not seek after the Most High. Because you will only be loyal to and obedient to whom you trust. So either you're going to trust stability, wealth, and riches, or you're going to have more faith in the Most High. Nabal, it's clear to see who Nabal trusted in. He trusted in himself. Read on.
He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool.
Is a what?
A fool.
So who is Nabal?
Fool.
Is a man that does what?
Trusteth in his own heart.
Is a man that trusts in his own heart versus trusting in the Most High. Any one of us could be Nabal. And a lot of us have been Nabal. Because we don't trust the Most High yet. And we still treat people that need us like crap. Finish that in Psalms chapter 10, verse 4.
Come. Psalms chapter 10 and verse 4 reads, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
The Most High is not in all what?
His thoughts.
Where was the Most High at in Nabal's mind?
Nowhere.
Nowhere, bro. But what was in Nabal's mind? His resources, bro. That's where his mind was at. That's why he was able to treat David and oppress David with no problem. Because this man possessed a greedy mind.
Yeah, and I think you said it last week. He was also guilty of being a respecter of persons because he was on Team Saul.
Yep. He was leaning towards Saul.
Yeah.
But Abigail leaned towards who?
David.
And Saul had it back then.
Yeah, Saul had it, but Abigail saw something, and she knew something. That the reign of the wicked is only temporary.
Yep.
She said she knew that the Most High would put his enemies in a sling, like in the middle of a sling, and sling them out.
It's crazy.
So she knew it. Nabal thought his riches would last forever.
Okay.
So he said the Most High is not in all his thoughts.
Come. Verse 5.
No, that's verse 4, right?
Come.
Keep reading.
Verse 5. His ways are always grievous.
It said his ways are always what?
Always.
Grievous.
When you got a man whose mind is only on their possessions, their attitude, their demeanor, their behavior is always what?
Grievous.
Grievous. Why? Because they don't think about the Most High. The Most High does not rule in their thought process. All they care about is what they fear to lose. I care about what I'm going to lose, not on what I have to gain. Because I don't have a respect of what the Most High has to give me. I don't respect alms and charity. It means nothing to me. Read on.
Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
Go ahead.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Go ahead.
He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved.
Because Nabal thought that he was going to last for what?
Ever.
He thought he was going to last forever, bro. But Abigail knew, man, this guy's temporary.
That's crazy.
She knew it. But that's the arrogant, foolish mind. That's the greedy nigger mind.
Yeah.
I think the Most High is going to keep me and allow me to possess this mind frame forever. No, he won't. The Most High is the master of cutting time short, reducing reigns and positions, and reversing the roles. He's the master of it. Read on.
For I shall never be in adversity.
Because Nabal thought what?
That he will never be in adversity.
He said, I'm never going to be in adversity. Man. Okay.
Wow.
Abigail didn't agree to that. Last verse, Luke chapter 12, verse 20.
Luke chapter 12, verse 20.
Read that.
But the Most High said unto them, Thou fool!
And you find a lot of Nabals in the Bible. It's a lot of fools in the Bible. What makes a man or a woman a fool? Read.
This night thy soul shall be required of thee.
Read.
Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided?
Who you worked, you've pinched, you've pilfered. You was doing a lot of labor and toilsome labor and weariness and fatigue to get where you are, just for the Most High to take it from you. Because you didn't care about the things that was important to the Most High. The Most High was not in all your thoughts. But your possessions were. What you had was. Read on.
So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward the Most High.
Where Nabal had riches, but he was empty because he didn't have riches towards who?
The Most High.
The Most High. Now, we didn't finish this. 1 Timothy 6 and 7. We didn't finish that. Read that. Go back to that.
First Timothy chapter 6 and verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out.
Read.
Verse 8. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare.
He said they fall into a what?
Temptation and a snare.
The riches are a snare. They're just a trap, man. We envy the sinner, not realizing that their life is just a trap. Read on.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
And they fall into many foolish and hurtful lusts. Read on.
Which drown men.
And it does what?
Man.
Which drown men.
And it drowns men. This is how the word of Christ is choked out. He said there's three things that choke Christ out of men. It's what?
Cares of the world.
It's the cares of the world,
Deceitful riches.
deceitful riches,
And the lust.
and the lust of other things. And the lust of other things. These three things choke Christ out of men and out of women. And this is how they drown. This is how they become overwhelmed. Because you didn't think that what you were doing in Christ was important enough. You didn't value the fact that you've forsaken your life and exchanged your life for a biblical life. A life of servitude, of charity, of giving. You despised that life. You wanted some other form of stability. And so the Most High said, fine, but you know what? Christ is being choked out of you. You don't get the best of both worlds. You don't have it both ways. Only if you submit, like Solomon. Solomon, he didn't ask for riches and wealth. He said, just give me the understanding to lead your people. Just give me the wisdom. He said, this is a great nation. I am but a child. I know not how to come in and go out. I don't know how to lead. Coming in and going out is significant of leadership. He said, I don't know how to lead, man. Just teach me how to lead men. I'll be okay with that. Give me the wisdom to lead them. Save all that riches and wealth.
That's real.
He said, because those things choke men. That's what's choking men now. Stability and the fear of it chokes men and women. Read on.
And so men are more in the pursuit of physical stability or a better condition than the lessons it takes to sustain their future blessings.
Yep.
That's the real issue they're dealing with what you're saying. their whole energy towards really what you need to sustain and maintain and help elongate the life and prolong the life of the rewards the Father will give you for your service, you didn't get those lessons because you were fixated on something tangible.
You bit the bait.
I bit the bait.
The bait was the riches and the stability. That was the trap. You fell for the trap.
I got the hook in my mouth.
Yeah, that was a trap. You didn't see the good in what you were doing. You didn't see the good in the sacrifice, in the losses. Read.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
It says, and they fall into many foolish and hurtful what?
Lusts.
Go ahead.
Which drown men.
It does what?
Drown men.
It chokes Christ out of men. Read.
In destruction and perdition.
Read on. How do we know this is true? Read on.
For the love of money.
For the what?
For the love of money.
What drowns men?
Love of money.
What pierces men with hurtful lusts?
The love of money.
Because it's something that they don't have, that they want so bad. See, the Most High knows men very well. And he also knows what men will do and how they'll forsake him to achieve the money. They'll cast the Most High over their shoulder for some money.
To the side.
For some stability. They'll throw Christ out the window. Long as I get some stability. Long as I can see my check coming in. Christ goes out the window. Read on.
For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, and have erred from the faith.
There it is. They do what?
Erred from the faith.
They erred from the faith. They went astray from the faith. The Most High said the just shall live by what?
Faith.
And not by what?
Sight.
Not by sight, bro. And what we do in Christ, the amount of sacrifice that we offer, the amount of assistance that we give and charity that we give to our people, and the purpose of living for them versus living for us, we can't see how that's going to take care of us. Because that requires faith. So a lot of us will give that away and go pursue financial stability and throw Christ right out the window. He said they erred from the faith. Read on.
They have erred from the faith and pierced themselves.
And they stabbed themselves with what?
Through with many arrows.
And with many arrows, many sorrows, not arrows, sorrows. With many sorrows. So the sorrow is the pain and the grief that comes from choosing wrong. The pain and sorrow that came to Nabal for choosing wrong gave Nabal a heart attack. When he realized he despised and defrauded a poor man that the Most High was sent to him to sustain. He chose wrong. And that gave him a heart attack. And they say his heart became stiff. And a lot of times we're going to realize, man, when the hammer drops and Christ returns, a lot of us will find out I chose wrong. I should have chose charity. I should have chose alms. I should have not been like Nabal and been so consumed with my resources and my possessions, occupied with what I don't have, covetous and greedy. So we can't ignore this mind frame before we move on in the chapter. So there'll be a part 3, but we had to get this out the way. All right. With that, we're going to say shalom to Water for watching, and we'll be back Friday. Now we got Friday. And we'll see you then online and also in class. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.